Oh. Ooh.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What's up? I'm like shaking
How's
all
it
my
going?
paints and reading the colors on them.
Cool. Let me see.
I just realized I didn't pull any of my metallics. I don't know if I have any, but I'll be right back.
Oh.
Metallics.
This is called gold. Okay, great.
So, where's the pop out chat, man?
On Twitch.
Yeah.
You need to
bottom right.
Yeah, and you have to open it like as if you were watching your own Twitch channel and not from your
Yeah.
creator dashboard.
Right.
And then on the right side of the cogwheel at the bottom, and then at the bottom of the first little thing it says pop out chat.
Woohoo! I'm popping it out.
Thank you so
Pop
much.
out the chat.
Welcome.
Cool.
There we go.
Here, let's do this.
Let's
Hi,
party.
everybody.
Hi.
Hi, teacher.
Welcome. welcome. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Rabbit Wombat. Hey, Uzi. So this is Homebuddies Hobby Night. We're just hanging out and working on hobbies.
Why are you doing a hobby night, Scott? Why is that relevant to you?
Well, because you know what? Yes, I do a lot of hobbies, but I really love. I host hobby nights when it's not pandemic time.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of people over for the last couple of years. I do it semi-frequently, and I love doing it. Oh, Andy, thank you so much for the resubscription.
Oh, look at that. Andy Campbell just getting right in there.
Yeah.
Buy the book.
So, yes. Buy the book.
Buy Scott's book. Do we need to do a reading?
What
I
book?
frequently
it's this
book. It's this book. I frequently do readings on my channel
awesome.
of this book.
Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
It's become
Hey,
a
everybody.
recurring. We read the entry for Andrew the other day, so now we all know
Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
Andy being named Andy means.
I actually did know that about my name, oddly enough.
You did?
Yes.
Ooh, yeah. I knew most of the stuff about my name too.
I have a serious question. Why are the Swell Boys streaming right now?
Oh my
Oh
god.
yikes!
Really?
Oh, they're probably getting off soon.
Yeah, they
because-
were streaming a lot earlier. They actually
yeah.
will probably be nice and raid us.
All right.
I mean, that would be
Yeah.
nice. It would be nice.
My love text, he messaged me earlier at 5 o'clock, so I think he'll probably get off soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I said, before pandemic times, I would have people over to my house for hobby nights, and people would be building models, painting models, doing artwork, whatever the specific hobby might be. But it's always fun to work on creative things together with other people.
Yes.
Whether you're saying, hey, how does this look, or what color would go well with this, just hanging out. So
yeah.
And all of us homebuddies are creative in one way or another.
Yeah.
Tootin'.
Yeah.
So is your mom.
Oh, that's not
Oh,
fun. Pew, 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 pew.
And then if you all at home are working on any hobbies, let us know. Post some pictures somewhere so we can check it out.
Post it in your Scott chat in the Discord.
Oh yeah, good idea.
Yes, in Discord. That's right.
That's a great place.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a skin tone.
Oh, Pandora, thank you. Yes, I do have my gobbets are available in my chat. I have soda though tonight.
I'm so offended as a vegetarian.
You don't like my gobbets?
How am I supposed to?
So I retitled my chat points as gobbets. So
Gobbets!
small chunks of meat.
Oh my god.
I like that. That's fun.
Who did the design for you?
To figure out that your camera is really freaking crooked. There we go.
All right, Arsenal Roy 2K is working on painting. So I've got my paint set up. I'm going to throw some paint on a model that I actually made on stream yesterday, put together.
Oh.
This is Lokess. She is some kind of demon cyborg bear creature with a giant double Gatling gun.
Wow.
And it's actually kind of hard to see all the detail, but once I start getting paint on it, it should look.
Did you prime it or did it come like that?
I did prime it. Yeah, so
okay.
it was the plastic was a little darker, but now it is very. I used a very light colored primer.
Yeah, so that's my question to you then is why go different directions with primer? So like you primed all my orc stuff black. Why go white with that one?
That's an excellent question.
That's a good question, actually. I want to know.
Okay.
So it used to be that most people would prime their models in black, with the idea being that you can put lighter colors over it, but still see some shadows through it with the black underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Then the thinking changed to most people now use gray primer, which is sort of like an in-between color. So you can go lighter, you can go darker over it, and there are different things you can do.
That's interesting.
But
because,
now,
like, yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead and finish that thought. Sorry.
Oh no, I was going to go on a whole other thing. So.
Oh no, I was gonna say interesting because for makeup primers are either white and some of them are actually gray. So that's interesting.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's better.
But now, as of a couple of years ago, Games Workshop, so they make a million paints that look like this with these little awful pots. But then they came out with the contrast line. So these contrast paints.
Oh,
so
that's right.
Yeah. So rather the regular paints are just acrylic paints. So you can put any color on top of any other color and, blend and wash and do all the normal stuff. These new contrast paints have like an ink element in them, so that with one coat of these paints, there are darker elements that filter down into the recesses. So it sort of gives you the advantage of a coat of, or two light coats of regular paint and a shade all at once in one paint. But for these, you need to use a light colored primer or a metallic primer, depending on what you're working on. So yeah.
Okay.
Scott brought me some cool minis to paint.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
Yeah,
Well, listen, I got this like cool, like elf. Like I don't even know. I don't think she's an elf. She's just like it looks like something out of an 80s sword and sorcery. Like look at her.
Yeah.
She's got a sword and a bikini. Like it's great, and a staff.
yeah.
Is she an elder?
No. She's just a girl.
Nice.
See if I can.
Yeah, I think that was a Bones mini.
Oh yeah, good. Hold on. I should put her down here.
Somebody was it Uzi, I think, in the chat. It's like, are we doing Gundams today? I really want to get back into.
Oh yeah, I
mean,
have.
Yeah, it got
I
talked
have
about
some
that.
some gunpla that I need to build.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was that good.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah.
That's something I never really got into.
Gunpla.
I've done a couple of them over the years, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was just it just lined up with how old I was at the time, and like Gundam Wing on
That's when they
Network.
started like selling them in, well, or at least I started noticing them in stores in the US. Though I think actually they've been in hobby stores in the US for a little while.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah.
So it was anytime I could scrounge together $20 as a kid, I would beg my mom to drive me to Toys R Us and get a new Gundam.
I have like a giant one that I need to build.
Ooh, what level or what scale? I know they have different.
Oh yeah, I'd have to look at the freaking box of it, but it's pretty intense.
Nice.
Pretty intense. Okay.
I got a lot of cat hair on this.
I actually think I need to take my glasses off.
So I actually am using a brush that Knox gave out last year during your Warhammer event.
Yeah.
During Gen Con or?
Yeah.
At Gen Con, we got some cool stuff donated for us.
I have a Gen Con brush amongst the stuff that Scott brought me today.
Oh, cool.
That's pretty nice. My paint keeps... I had to make a skin tone by combining white and orange, so...
That is one way to go about it.
It's working. I do enjoy the commentary from Scott's family in the background.
Yes.
Yeah, so my painting station is just in the toy room where I stream during the day. So yeah, the family is awake. They are having dinner, so definitely going to hear them tonight. So this bear has some like parts that are less furry and then parts that are more furry. So I'm going to go one color on the less furry parts and then see if it can blend into a darker color for the furrier parts.
Oh, that guy's
we'll see how it goes.
That guy's fucking cool.
It's a neat model, yeah. This is a game. I don't actually play this game, but I have some of the models, and they're pretty wild.
What game's it for?
It's called Wild West Exodus,
okay.
And it's a Wild Wild West / steampunk kind of crazy world.
Wiki Wild Wild West.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. Yeah.
Sorry, what were we gonna say?
Oh, I was like, Will Smith is in the game. Like literally,
Yeah, do you have a Cisco figure
the
too?
spirit of Will Smith.
I cannot wait for my Cisco cameo. I want him to be like, listen, Janel's gonna kick y'all's ass. I want him to be like, put me over so hard. Like he's my teammate, and we're gonna come out as Wild West Cisco, and I'm gonna be Jim West.
I was really hoping the thong song was gonna play, but you know,
that's for him. Right now, I'm coming out to It's Raining Men with Miss Cracker and Anderson Cooper. So
quite.
I'm getting my life over there.
Got you.
Did you hear who Jessica's new rival is?
No.
It's very exciting.
It is indeed Ripley herself.
Yeah, I made
Ellen
Ripley.
Ripley.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really
And she
good.
looks so good.
Yeah. And it's funny because Andy put her in the suspenders outfit, so they're gonna have a suspenders match.
Oh.
Is the match going to be to see who can wear the suspenders?
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Only one.
We gotta figure out Emma's next one because now that Geralt is now Naeem.
I have some ideas.
Yeah, he does.
I'm cooking us something up. Don't you worry.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. We've been protecting Scott, so he hasn't been really fighting much.
is.
But
Sure.
but
Well,
when he
isn't
does come
Scott
out-
the women's champion right now?
yeah.
that's exactly
You know.
so he
So he doesn't
he's
have
like
to
Brock
see
Lesnar, where he
much.
barely shows up. And
Yeah.
I can't be thrown in the ring with just anybody.
He obliterated
Exactly.
Lucas.
Sounds like you're scared, bitch.
Oh
Oh.
shit!
No, because I don't have control over who wins and loses, so we have to make sure that he fights jobbers.
Yeah.
Lucas.
It's called protecting the brand.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, exactly.
It's called scared, bitch.
Andy's scared. Oops. I didn't mean to click that. I was trying to
So
scroll down.
There we
What's
go.
going on with your character, Andy?
He just lost and Andy was just rebranded.
I joined Robert Stack's stable as the Unkindled. So it's Robert Stack, the leader, and then me, and then Gwyn, the last boss of Dark Souls 1. So it's me as like edgelord rebranding. And then we got fucked up by Anderson Cooper and Janel.
the shady bunch.
The shady bunch, yes.
That's so funny.
I don't know. Like, my shit will just change, and I'll do it whatever the fuck. I'm not the star of this show.
Yeah, but
Well, plus,
You
like,
are
he-
though,
he
Bandy.
he is the actual star, but he
mean-
enjoys being able to play with his toys, though. That's what he's saying. He likes
Exactly.
to manipulate other people.
well, so I made like a dark armor, like black metal armor look for myself, but it looks like Catwoman from Batman Returns.
It looks like
When the
actually
camera
like Michelle
pans out
Pfeiffer.
too far, it just looks like fucking black latex.
Especially because he put the blonde hair on it too, so it's
Oh
like
my
annoying.
god.
I think I'm gonna lean into that and just make it actual black latex and put like cat ears
Well,
on
you
myself.
can have Keaton then Batman Keaton. as your
Yeah,
teammate.
Batman Keaton.
Or Beetlejuice, because we
Or
want to
you
make
could be-
Beetlejuice.
You could be like a leather like daddy, or you could be like the leather sub or something.
But then you would have to have Dory and Electra be your manager then, Andy, if you're gonna be Leather Daddy.
I mean, I want to be a latex cat girl. Yeah, I could probably, or maybe I could make the penguin.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
You could.
So dumb.
So goody, man.
Yeah.
Hell
What
yeah,
color do I
brother.
want to make her? What is this? This is Tarandon turquoise.
I
Okay.
want to do like a
Wow.
Warhammer inspired makeup look. That's what I want to do.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm looking up some ideas here.
Yeah, so we've got like the one color. My color is so blown out because I've got these big LEDs on me right now. But essentially, there's a light brown for the upper arm skin tone, and then a darker brown for the fur.
Oh, that looks
That
good.
look good
Yeah,
overall.
looks real good.
Gonna have to
Crispy.
wash my hands after this. That's for sure, as I get paint all over them.
That's a badge of honor, Emma.
What?
That's a badge of honor.
Yeah. Thank you. I originally heard that's a bad monitor, and I was like, oh no, everything's falling apart.
No.
If I said that to you live on stream, I'd be an asshole.
It's okay.
And you know what? I'm not above it, but I'm not saying it would be nice.
Yeah. All right, let's paint this cloak.
Give Emma anxiety on stream.
Jesus, I get enough anxiety on stream as is.
She gets enough anxiety off stream as is too.
Yeah, exactly.
We all do. It's like, fuck, dude. Like, the worst is like, tech issues are the worst thing in the
Oh my
world.
god. Yeah, Scott and I were talking about how it's like a constant battle.
And at this point, it's like, if it happens, it happens. Especially like on
yes.
But you just want it to be over. Like,
yeah.
Can we just move forward? Like, okay, it fucking happened. Other people have it happen. I'm not like...
But only one, I know, yeah.
And I'm not a bad streamer because it happened. But you just want it to like make a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
Than it does.
I mean, we're all like basically the majority of people that are like just doing small streams, broadcasting video games, whatnot. It's like we're all just like basically being our own studios. We're broadcasting on freeware, like, you know.
Right. And we know that people have been doing it ahead of us.
Oh, totally.
That doesn't mean we still don't have an intuitive software.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Pandar's right. I'm a bad streamer for other reasons other than software.
Right. Of course.
And tech issues. I'm just a bad streamer.
I had to stop myself from making a similar joke.
Yeah.
So nice that like everyone's thinking it but not saying it.
Hell
you know?
yeah, brother.
I didn't think it. I was.
Thank you.
I didn't think it either.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't think it. I knew it. Cap. I'm just kidding.
Oh, yikes.
Thank you, Savage Punch.
I debated internally if I was going to say it or not. There was a moment of there where I'm just like me patting my nose going,
It's all right. I set him up. You guys knocked me in the face.
Wow.
Fair.
I don't like this drawing. I'm going to move on.
Why you gave him Kenny Omega hair?
A little bit. I like the big sideburns and like mullets and shit.
Yeah.
Hi, Pepper. Hi, Pepper.
Pepper.
Should be cute right now.
My she was 7th grade.
There we go. Yeah.
When is
like,
she not being cute?
Pepper cute.
She's just dead.
My cats are too. They're both laying flat on the floor downstairs.
It's like, yeah, you cannot do anything. One has been hiding in the closet. Ooh, I hear a child.
I heard him say,
"Oh yeah,
dee. He was singing that. He said something about Saw. I heard it. Everybody heard it.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, dog.
We tentatively have a date for Human Centipede.
Oh, yeah.
What's the date?
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Like 10 p.m. or something. Late.
Remind people what time you are doing your subathon tomorrow.
Oh yeah, subathon tomorrow starts around 3 p.m.
Sick.
Nice.
And it's gonna be a very long day for me because it starts really early in the morning. But that's why I'm starting later. But yeah, but it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it, and it's gonna be
nice.
so fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, the goal is to get 50 subs. I don't know. I haven't set a goal yet. Just however many
what's your maximum time? Like how long are you trying to go?
Well, I could probably go. I have a crazy busy day the next day on Monday, but like I'm thinking about going till 10 probably max.
Yeah. Honestly, like 7-8 hours is plenty.
I mean, my goal, I'm probably gonna do 12 max. I think. Because I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna push myself a little bit. Because I'll be honest, like I can sit here and play Overwatch forever. Like I love it, and so to me, it's like, you know, I can do Overwatch for a few hours, and then I can watch stuff with people. I can do marbles. I can do, you know, Jackbox. We have a lot of options here. The thing is, I need to make sure that that everything's done. I need to make sure that I'm able to work out before and everything. Like that all needs to be done before.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Because especially if you're going to be sitting there for a long time, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe what I'll do is we'll do those channel points goals where you have to get up and do 10 jumping jacks.
Yeah.
Dude, they made me dance for 40 minutes on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yikes!
How are you guys doing out there? You guys, how you guys feeling? How's your Saturday going so far?
Yeah, we haven't done check-ins.
It's fine. I'm pretty like annoyed with the air conditioning situation, and it's really hot. And like I had a really like bad part of my brain kick in, which is the capitalism part of my brain. That basically, as I was getting frustrated about air conditioning stuff yesterday, said to me, I make too much money for this bullshit.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's like, but that's natural because we live in a capitalist society. So my brain has been conditioned to think that way. That like more money equals you can buy your way out of problems.
Well, that's great that you acknowledge that you are able to recognize that part of your brain, because like a lot of people don't think that, and they just think that that's them, and that's like, well, I'm just gonna embrace that part of my side, like, you know. Like one of the things that I like, I listen to like a lot of Louise Hay that helps you with like, you know, it's like meditation. It's just like saying these things, and whenever you have a negative thought, pushing those thoughts out, recognizing them, and then being like, no, I don't want to think that. And like RuPaul genuinely he does this thing too, where he talks about the inner saboteur, and he uses it as like a shtick for the show, but it's true. Like everyone does have that inner saboteur that is saying like, you know, it's like the imposter syndrome. You're not good enough. You're not
the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, totally. And to name it, to recognize it, and to just like be like, no, I'm not gonna listen to that. Like that's big. Like you are doing that naturally, you know. Where you're like, oh, okay, you know, and that's.
I was taught that you're not your first thought.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
At the improv studio where I learned improv, this guy named Stephen Kieran, he called his inner saboteur Ramon. And Ramon would just say, you think you know how to do improv? You're not good.
No, like that's some real shit. Like honestly.
Sure.
And he's like one of the best improvisers on the planet. So I was like, oh, if this genius is having a fucking problem on stage too with his that was really helpful to know.
That's actually I've never heard it put that way, Jess, of like, you know, you are your second thought of like you are the filter, right? Like that's why it's like you are what comes out of your mouth after you've let it stew in your brain for a sec. So that's why, you know, certain people, not like no one specific obviously, but just we all know that person who it's like, really, like that shit made it out of your fucking mouth, like it filtered through 4 different layers of your psyche, and it came out like
and you thought that was a good idea.
And I have a problem with the people specifically who don't even come back and go, yeah, I fucked up.
Right, because we've all like said shit that came to our brains and went after the fact like, that was probably not necessary. Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's exactly right. Like we're allowed to make mistakes, and like you also need to be able, like, I may have shared this story before, but my friend was taking an ethics class in college, and they were debating abortion or something, like a really touchy subject, and two students were going at it, and one student had a very moderate to conservative view, and one student had a liberal view.
Right.
And basically the liberal was like, here's the reason, basically like spewing knowledge.
Right.
Months later, at the end of this class, the moderate to conservative view person, the conversation came up again in a different way, and the moderate to conservative person goes and shares the same information that the person that was the liberal had shared.
Hell yeah.
And had changed their stance. And then the liberal person stands up and goes, no, you were this last time.
Yeah, but people can change their minds. Like people can learn and grow.
And the teacher said, no, absolutely not. We have to be able to let people. That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like, because otherwise, why are you even bothering to have the conversation if you're just like, you can't change? You just
because you want to be right. So that's when you're going to challenge yourself and go like when people get frustrated at people not wearing masks, which is fair, or like when they
very fair. Yeah.
It's like, how much do you want to be right, or how much do you want to protect yourself? And it can be a mixture of both.
Yeah.
Totally.
I agree.
I remember I was in, I don't know, it was probably elementary school or like middle school, whatever. We were doing like a mock jury or like a trial or something.
Yeah.
We would all be, whatever, like the jury discussing.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck, and I made, somebody brought up a point, and then I switched my stance, and then one of the kids was like, "You can't do that. You can't think he was guilty and then like take it back." It's like,
you're like, yes,
why
you
not?
can.
That's what a jury does, or
Yeah.
You're not supposed to sit in a courtroom until you prove your point, which is what lawyers do, of course.
Yeah.
I literally, the only jury I ever served on, it was a domestic abuse, and it was like, did he hit her or did he not hit her? And it was a wife who had recanted, and the the DA's office decided to pursue it still. So it really wasn't in favor of anybody.
Yeah.
And when we went to the deliberation, I was like, for sure this dude hit her, but there was enough conflicting, like, I guess reasonable doubt ultimately.
Sure.
But one of the guys was like, she doesn't look like an abused woman. And I'm like, no.
Wow.
No.
My man's.
Oh my god. Shut up, Andy.
Really, really, really god awful.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I mean, don't get me wrong. And then I popped off, but
yeah, for sure.
I became 12 angry men all by myself.
12 angry Jessica.
Yeah, and no one wanted that. I actually made us come back the next day, just because I was like the last holdout.
Nice. Yeah, that gives me an idea for a rumble. 12 angry Jessicas.
Whoa.
So if it's the Bruce World Order, then what's the Jessica one called?
I need a knife.
Well, you gotta get Chrissy in there.
12 angry
Jessicas.
12 angry Jessicas.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's TAJ. Oh my god.
Yeah, there we go.
You need,
Ooh, Janel, look at you.
I'm trying to find my eyebrow thing too, because I want to continue on this part, but I need to do my eyebrows first, and I can't find my pen.
So Scott, I'm working on the gift that Dreadlord Hurt gave me, and when I painted this at your house, you primed it for me after I built it, and you had this awesome copper, and I did almost all the parts that I wanted as copper, so I don't need it right now, but I do have copper. And then I realized that they probably ripped, it's like plate glass, or it's like plated copper, so I'm putting some ripped parts.
Cool.
Yeah. It's really cool. Tell me you like my work.
Tell you your work.
Yeah.
Well, that's so you're doing weather in, which is a very advanced technique.
Please validate Jessica, is what she's saying.
Yes, I need to be told I'm really good at this.
You are.
Oh yeah, so fucking good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh God, stop it.
Oh god.
Yeah, stop it. Yeah.
I need to go get a knife. I'll be back.
Janelle, you guys need to put a pause on something and go
Oh,
fix that.
So funny.
Teach me to sit down without all of my hobby tools.
I'm drawing.
Same.
I don't know if
Usually.
anybody in the chat knows. So I just finished the last Dark Souls 3 DLC earlier today, and this is the last boss, Slave Knight Gale, after he's been consumed by the Dark Soul. He's pretty cool. He's edgy as fuck, you guys.
Nice.
Is this the first time you're seeing him, and that's what you drew from memory?
No, I have a reference brought up on the side. But yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. What was I doing? Okay, that was the turquoise, right?
Now I just look like
lay in some
what was her
black.
name? Simone? Curly Simone?
Oh, Carly Simone! God, that was special.
That was so fun. That was fun, and then it was fun because like even though Emma wasn't able to join that night, that was the first time that we had played Fall Guys with her that night too. So that was a really fun day.
Oh yeah, we did end up playing Fall Guys.
That was a riot. Yeah, because we, a lot of times we'll join up with My Love and Winfrey. In a call just to if they're gonna do Overwatch or whatever. But And someone was like, should we stream it? Should we stream? Fuck it.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was a party.
Yeah, Fall Guys is a freaking blast. I love it.
I finally got a W. I won.
Yay,
I won a game
Andy!
last night.
Bro.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, brother. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. It's like we were at the grocery store yesterday and I was like, should I get like a heart rate monitor?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those?
Oh
really
no!
Cool. These heart rate monitors that you plug into a Twitch extension, and it'll and it goes across your chest, so it's pretty accurate. And so it shows as your heart rate elevates in different parts of the game.
Oh, good lord! I should stream like Last of Us Part 2 with that shit on because like my heart rate. That is one thing I will say to the game's credit is like they manage like the actual escalation of human fear extremely well.
I saw. What's the name?
Xavier Woods.
Austin Creed, Xavier Wood.
Nice. Yeah.
He posted he got a Fall Guys win, and like it starts fucking climbing. Like it was the one where you have to run up to like grab the crown at the end, and that shit was like steady on a steady rise, like the last half of it.
Yeah, the mountain climb one. Yeah, that one I see a lot as the final stage.
That's the one that I ended up winning. Like lucky ducky, because I like the hexagon one, but I can't win it. I can't clutch out the hexagon.
I know the hexagon one is fun though.
Is Com playing you guys too, or is it all people?
It's all people.
Yep.
So there are people out there winning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Andy's winning.
Yeah, exactly. Andy is people.
One game.
And he is winning.
And I quit.
And after that, Andy was like, now I'm retiring. I'm done.
Yeah.
Well, Andy is actually notorious for doing that. I will be real. He got to Diamond in Overwatch, and he was like,
bye.
I'm done.
Hell yeah. I don't need that stress in my life. Fuck, man.
I get stressed playing Mario Kart. My hands are like gripped. My feet are like clenched. My butt is gonna make diamonds.
Oh yeah. My PvP stress needs to be very calculated, and I do not have enough control over my actions in that game or the team's outcome. And so it's just the juice is not worth the squeeze. Love it. But,
I get that.
The juice is not worth the squeeze.
Yeah. Words to
I
live
get
by,
that
man.
completely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, actual Swell Boys raid. What's up, y'all?
Yo,
Hi,
Swell Boys.
Hi, Mushroom.
I fought in your general direction.
This is a very chilled out stream.
Did you guys get any dubs?
They were playing Among Us, I thought.
Yeah.
They swapped over to Fall Guys too.
Oh, they did?
Awesome.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how long they were playing Fall Guys though.
Why isn't it Fall Girls? You know what I mean?
That's an excellent question.
I think
it is.
I think it's just
Why
a play on the
people?
like the Fall Guys. You know, like who's the Fall Guy? Who's gonna
Fall
take
humans.
who's gonna take the shit?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The swell is here. Flee. Jumpy.
It is definitely Hobbit night.
Yeah.
Yes, Hobbit night.
Fall people.
It's Hobbit night. Yes, oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
I always think of John Lovitz because of The Wedding Singer.
Same. I literally always, all the time. And then I have this thing that Andy and I always repeat it now, but like I told him about how John Lovitz, when he goes, he's losing his mind, and I'm reaping all the benefits. And then he flips the curtain slowly back.
And you never see him again.
Yeah, that's it.
Because he went to go reap
And
the
I'm
benefits.
reaping all the benefits.
He had benefits to reap. Like, he's busy.
He's busy, yo.
He's losing his mind. It's so great. It's so great. Doesn't he talk about like sitting in a tree and like, well, I don't know.
That's from like little Nicky, right?
Yeah.
Which wasn't that yeah.
Oh,
Who was Tithead? No, yeah, he was the pervert, right? He was the pervert in Little Nicky, John Lovitz.
Yeah, he was the pervert.
Yeah, he was the pervert.
He died falling out of the tree, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's why. I watched Little Nicky more than anyone ever should.
No, me too. And I told
That
him,
is a really funny part.
It's so fucking funny. Like the tithead thing is one of the it's so fucking funny. And the part where Dana Carvey is the basketball or the referee, and he's like he swats the ball and he's like, get that shit out of here. Like, it's so fucking funny.
It was like always on HBO.
Oh, get that crap out of here. That's what he says, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it being on TV all the time. I have seen bits and pieces of it, but I really don't think I've ever watched it all the way through.
You don't need to. You see Reese Witherspoon in heaven, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it about 2 years ago, and then I asked Andy about a year ago. Again, I said, "You want to watch Little Nicky?" And he said, "I think we're good."
Yeah. Oh, well, I want to watch it now.
Yeah, we'll watch it.
Bye,
now. No, it's
boys.
been 2 years now.
Bye, Swell Boys. Thanks, Swell Boys.
Bye, bitches.
Okay.
I'm scared. I'm scared to start
What is your favorite Adam Sandler movie?
Wedding Singer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, definitely Wedding Singer. Though I like Happy Gilmore too.
Happy Gilmore's great.
But I like Drew in The Wedding Singer a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Is like she's so charming in that movie that
Okay, but then
I like the 80s aspect of it too.
50 First Dates, which is just
love
so
that
cute.
movie.
Yeah, but also like I mean, think about it. The Wedding Singer has Billy Idol on a plane, right? And you don't talk to Billy Idol that way. Like that's like that shit's fucking.
You don't talk to Billy. At 8 to 10,000 feet.
What do you guys say? What are your favorite? What's your favorite Adam Sandler? Oh, wait, Crazy Nights was pretty good. Not gonna lie.
I have good memories with The Waterboy.
Waterboy is great.
Happy Gilmore is pretty damn good, but
you know, one interesting that he does is he names his love interest double V's. So you have Vicky Valancourt from The Waterboy. We have I forget something Valentine from Happy Madison. Then Veronica. I think it was Veronica.
Veronica Vaughn.
Veronica Vaughn. That's the teacher. Yeah, that's the teacher.
Oh.
And then you got Vicky Valancourt. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the other ones.
Why does he do that?
I don't know if it's his wife that has the V. Because I know he named her, what's her name, Lola in Big Daddy, but that was because of the song, because it's Styx song. Yeah. Or Lila, pardon me. Layla. Layla, no, that's Eric Clapton, isn't that Eric Clapton?
It is Eric Clapton, but it's Derek and the Dominoes, technically.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's see, what other V names?
Wow, I didn't realize. I always knew that the names felt similar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have any more gum? More gum, more gum. I would say like Billy Madison was like the gateway drug, right? It
really was.
Yeah.
Like, Andy Samberg talks about that being his like initial like, wow, you really can do whatever you want. Like he's like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, and that really inspired him. Like when he's in the bathtub just doing nonsense. And now like that's his like pop figure. There's a pop figure of him of Billy Madison in the bathtub, and I want.
Oh, is there really?
Funny. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, they just recently did a whole range of Adam Sandler movie pops.
That's great. Funny.
Yeah, I'm not here for the Adam Sandler shit talk. That guy makes so much money. He makes so many movies.
Yeah, and also like good. Like I don't judge him at all for like his tendency to just like go make movies so he can take his friends on trips.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or cast his friends. You know.
Yeah, take his friends on trips, cast his friends. Like, I'm into it.
Oh, I remember what it was. Okay, so Virginia Bennett is from Happy Gilmore, and then Layla Maloney is from Big Daddy. But Babe Bennett, Babe is the Styx song, Babe, right? Am I right?
Oh, it's Styx, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. Okay, cool.
So it's Veronica Vaughn is the teacher in Billy Madison,
Mm-hmm.
and then Vicky Valancourt,
Waterboy,
and
then Valerie Veron is
who's
the
the
one
Happy
from
Madison.
Happy
Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore was the what's the actress from Modern Family?
Right, but
yeah,
what was
her name was Virginia Bennett. Yeah, and then Vicky Valancourt. Valerie Veron is Varon or Veron, I forget. Is the
there
one
we go.
Little Nicky. And then I think after that he did not Big Daddy, Mr. Deeds, and that's why he named her Babe Bennett. So he was going with the B thing, I guess, because I don't even remember.
That movie also has some really funny parts.
It's so funny. He's like, my back hurts. He's sliding down the banister.
Mm-hmm.
I love that movie because it used a Dave Matthews song as its like.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Busted Stuff or something. Oh no, it's one of the other ones. Ooh, now I want to listen to Dave Matthews.
I did it. Do you think I've gone too far?
Dave Matthews, who's been in a couple of Adam Sandler movies.
That's
right.
Yeah.
He was the racist in
Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yep.
It seems like one of those things where Adam Sandler was just a fan, and he's famous enough to where he's like,
Bema, we need Adam Sandler trivia for the next bar trivia night.
Here's the dealio, Bob.
Okay, it won't come from my brain. It'll come from the internet.
Dave Matthews does want to be an actor, kind of, too. So he did an episode of House, and he also did Where the Red Fern Grows.
Oh. Ooh, Emma, what about high school or high school literature? Like you know how like Where the Red Fern Grows from like middle school?
Yeah, I had some high school literature questions, I feel like, in the last one.
You did have.
Or like Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That trivia was a hit, though, for sure. Everyone was like, everyone thinks I'm betraying them by not having them on my team anymore. It's not a choice I have, friends.
No, I had a lot of fun. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so much for putting that together. Truly, that was like
it was pro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could very easily see the love that you put in, and that's what extra made it fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun putting it together. So.
Right, so yeah, these two tones of brown are looking really. Again, it's washed out, but it looks better in real life. But it looks cool the way it blends.
Looks fucking baller.
Yeah, that looks really good, Scott.
Yeah.
We need I know, instead of Adam Sandler, what about Drew Barrymore? We all love Never Been Kissed.
Oh yeah.
Because
the
teacher in that is in Tu Wong Fu, right? As the
yes.
Yeah, that was him.
It's like unsettling, the difference.
Yeah, right.
I had such a crush on him because of that movie.
Of course I did.
Yeah,
he's adorable.
He's super charming.
Yeah, he's very charming.
And Robert Kett, oh come on.
Yeah.
It's just spectacular.
Mr. Coolidge. I love that movie.
I also love Ever After. I always watch it.
Oh my god, I love Ever After.
That's Emma's like favorite Drew Barrymore. Am I right?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like
that makes a lot of sense. That tracks.
It does.
Yeah.
It's very on brand.
Though I do like I do like he's just not that into you.
I like that movie a lot. I like that movie a lot.
I couldn't handle it. I never watched it because I was like, I live this. I don't need to watch it.
Yeah, that's.
No, I mean that movie is so fun because I love me some ensemble films. Like
yeah,
they're always a good.
Do you?
Yeah, I do because I like to see the effort put in by different people, the different amounts of effort.
And Justin Long was one of my camp counselors when I was a kid, so I always like to see him doing well.
He's got an interesting story. He ends up getting a manager because he was on the short list for being the new Blues Clues guy, being the new Steve.
Yeah, being Steve. Yeah, his mom was like best friends with the woman that ran the theater camp that I went to as a kid.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And so that's how he ended up working there, was basically like he was home over the summer and his mom was like, Maureen, I cannot have my son sit around my house all summer, so please.
That's real cute.
Get him, please make him come work.
He has a great story that he tells on Dax Shepard's podcast about he was like still relatively people knew who he was, but hadn't had enough experience, and he was in a bar while he was filming, and these guys were kind of making him feel bad, like, oh, are you too famous to hang out with us? And they get him high, and it pretty much has speed in it, and they
oh god,
I know,
terrible,
and only let him smoke. He's basically like, I'm gonna die, and finally the whole story is definitely worth listening to the podcast for, but finally he decides to just bail because they keep on driving past his hotel, playing with him. He decides to bail, and he gets his leg run over by them.
Oh shit!
Like a whole fucking
These
thing.
are not your fucking friends, dude. Holy shit.
Well, they weren't his friends. These were guys that were making him feel too cool for school. And don't get me wrong, you don't me to take that bait, but
Yeah.
he for some reason wanted to be like, no, I'm a real dude. I can hang out still.
I'm chill.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I understand why he would have done that. Just like based on some of my own personal feelings of like, it can be kind of lonely to be successful.
Sure.
So like, I can totally understand where his impetus would come from to be like, no, I'm chill. I can hang. I'm just like still me. I'm a normal dude.
All want to be liked too, you know, and that will override our brains sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
How many times have we slept with the guy that we didn't want to sleep with because we were afraid of hurting his feelings, or
exactly,
or did the thing and smoked that, or you know, right, Andy?
Yeah,
you slept with a lot of guys, right, Andy?
Oh,
hella,
so
dude.
many.
Bone zone.
Just pure bone zone.
I wish.
Do you? Okay. You know, you're young.
You're young. I did open up my dating account to women. I was like, you know what? Let's see what happens.
Budget,
yeah,
cool.
That's great.
I had a crush on a girl once.
Yeah.
I was 16, and like I was in love with her, but she was also very masculine. Not that that's a caveat.
No,
but,
of course.
But I don't look at women and go, yeah. I never have. But but I enjoy like the visuals, right?
I'm
like,
with it. I mean, I was always more assertive with women. Like I tended to be like more of the. I mean, if there's really no traditional like, oh, who's butch, blah blah, you know. But I definitely was more assertive in the 2 relationships that I had with women.
Yeah.
And I think like I know a really a married couple now, and the one of the women came into our friend group dating another woman who wasn't quote unquote a lesbian.
Right.
But the girl was. And all of us in this girl group were with this lesbian girl, like we could all be in love with her. So one of our girlfriends, like one of our friends, like pursued her, swept her off her feet. The first time ever dating a girl, and now they're married. You know,
that's awesome. I love that.
But just like some people it's like their essence. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
that's where pansexuality comes.
I was gonna say, like, I'm a big believer in like pansexuality and that the fact that like I don't know, I think like for me it's like I feel like I am like more attracted, I think, to just like people, you know, than say a specific gender.
Yes. Yeah, and that's where, you know, especially with the internet, like the internet, you can meet somebody and chat with them and not hear their voice and fall in love with them.
Yeah.
You can have conversations.
You totally can.
Yeah, because it's like even though I like have only like dated men and slept with men, like I feel like there is this little like I have definitely like encountered a lot of women in my life where I'm like, but like I could totally be in love with her.
You could see how it works.
Yeah.
And
I mean, all of the girls that used to be our age, Emma, were like in love with Heather Campbell.
Oh my God, they were all in love with Heather, and like we all sort of like got why, you know?
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah, she had like such a like presence about her.
Yeah, there's some people that are just super attractive.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend, she's happily married, and we were talking about it. Like, for some reason, maybe not for some reason, because even Janel's like, Jessica, you're a little gay. And I'm like, no, I'm not. She's like, no, you are. I'm like, okay. And so it came up somehow, and she was like, and I was like, what I said is, maybe if it wasn't such a stigma, I might have open my mind to it more, right?
Yeah.
I would have had a little bit more casual sex than I'm open to or comfortable with.
Yeah.
And she said, I know that I would have actually dated girls, and I think I'm more attracted to girls than I am guys. Not that I don't love my husband, but I'm
totally, yeah.
But our society, you know, just doesn't condone it. It wasn't open. I was made fun of for drawing pictures of girls because I was like into Greek culture.
Yeah,
and I was
embarrassing, dude.
Fuck, Andy.
He's here to fuck with you.
I know, he's such a dick.
And he's just a voice too. You can't even see him. Asshole.
I know. I love it.
I know. Janel, you are actually the only person we can see. The rest of us all are like, look at what we're doing.
Andy has really, really fucking become the shadiest of us all. Like, let's be real. I'm surprised. I'm like, what happened to the good boy bartender? He's mean now.
He is mean.
I was running.
Jade.
Oh yeah.
I was painting mayonnaise.
Who's just like sweating in their fucking underwear right now?
Oh, it's so bad.
Me.
I was sweating.
Too much paint on my brush.
Oh, that's like my common issue.
Yeah.
I have to like walk away from paintings because I'll paint too much.
Yeah.
Or like not get the right color, but then go into another area. I've ruined many a painting.
Mm.
Or just like lost interest because I went too far. Or,
yeah, you're like, I've fucked this up too bad, and now I'm not going to finish it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realize that that's sort of my struggle with art is it has to be like the perfect amount of time for a project for me to feel like I like did something cool, but also fucking finish that bitch. That's why I like, fucking computer animation and cell animation.
Yeah.
Like the ADHD is too strong with that shit. Like it's just
like,
I just get over it, like it takes way too much time in order for the thing to like become what it is, and I just could not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that completely. Actually, I think I need to lay more gold in on that gauntlet.
Well, I have that problem with painting miniatures. I'm not a great miniature painter, but I will spend months on a single model, and I'll just be like, I want to get this as good as I can, and over again. So usually my painting projects are, honestly, usually I paint things for other people for gifts.
Yeah.
On like a specific date that it has to be, like the end of a show or a birthday or something, or like a review I'm working on. So
that's good
that
though.
That is good. Yeah, to have like that deadline.
Yep.
The boat painting that I've been working on.
Yeah.
I haven't finished anything. What did you do, Emma?
What?
What did you do?
She's just coming together. That's all.
She's a woman.
Yeah, like she's starting to look like something.
You put the lashes on.
Yeah, I got to put her lashes on, but like I got the cloak all painted. It's even pretty dynamic because I laid some black into the folds.
Ooh,
so
nice, girl.
Yeah.
Janelle, do you think we can have that conversation of the screenshot I sent you today, or should we not?
Let me see what screenshot. Oh yeah, talk about it. Go for it.
Okay, I don't have any thoughts one way or another, except for it gave me pause, so I stopped in my tracks. Someone I know on Facebook shared like one of those text images, right? And she goes, "Isn't drag the same as blackface but for women?"
Yeah, I was like,
Stupidest shit.
yeah, we were both like, I
mean, what now?
And every time someone was like, "Well, it's different. That blackface was used primarily to keep down a culture and justify like the bad stereotypes." She goes, "Well, what about the bitchy queens that are using like bad stereotypes about women to make money? I wish I could make money being a bitch."
Oh no, that's not drag
Karen.
at all.
No, and the thing is, it's stupid
same.
because there's so many bio queens out there. Like it's like so ridiculous. Like
it's the same of like Karen is the new N-word. And what did John Mulaney say? He's like, if you're comparing two words and you can't say one of them, that's the worst word.
Yeah, that's
it's like the fucking K word, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah. And,
wow.
It's just like, drag within itself historically is just the idea, the concept of blending gender lines. So
They're
so
not pretending to be women per se. Like,
right.
Well, they're not making fun of women. They're expressing a gene within themselves, like that also tells them they want to dress up like women.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's straight drag queens out there too. It's like not even.
Yeah, there are straight drag queens out there. Like, the majority of them are definitely gay, but like it's not a rule.
Yeah.
I definitely listen. As she posited it, nice Andy. She
look at that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She put it down like a conversation, right? Like she's like, let's talk. And that's fair, but she was doing that like bad faith discussion too, where she's like, but she wasn't like there to hear it. She was there to like
your mind is made up, and nothing anybody says will change it.
Did you see the fucking TikTok of this girl who's like, I'm a starseed. What that means is and someone said,
I was actually gonna watch that on Cringe. Like,
you should.
I mean, we're
I have not. For now, but, I have not seen it.
But yeah,
well, the caption I saw with it was
go explain it to Emma though, Jess.
What?
Go explain it to Emma.
Explain it. I haven't seen it.
Basically, I had to look it up too, and there is this contingent of people who believe that they were not of this earth originally, and that they were like they're like alien child or like
of you believe one, Andy?
Yes, I understand.
Yes.
So she's like, I'm a star child. That means I might be extra sensitive to this. And I saw it was retweeted basically going, what white people will what lengths white people will go to feel exceptional or marginalized.
Yes, marginalized. Yes. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm very entertained by that.
It's like, listen, I'm all for you needing something to identify, right? And I think that's what we're really struggling with as a culture right now is like, well, if we're changing your terms of identity, which is what a lot of cisgendered men are going through and white men, well, if you're telling me white isn't the power that I was raised with, if you're telling me manhood isn't the power that I was raised with, and that was my identity, it was built around that, think about it. Guns are people's identity, and then you start to take it away.
No, completely.
That's what's so smart about the lobbyists and fundamentalists that make it synonymous with who you are. And then when you try to take that away from people, they don't know what to do with themselves because they also don't have a foundation beyond that.
Right. No, completely. Yeah, it was interesting because like I was having this conversation with my dad. Who won the fucking dad lottery. I will tell you that. I did. I won the parent lottery. But like my dad and I were talking about that because we were kind of talking about like how there is like the thing that's both great and terrible about the internet is that it is able to bring these like communities of people together. But because of that, it's like what used to be these like small minority groups that, you know, had some sort of crazy conspiracy theory or whatever, they're now much more able to find each other and find the people that are saying what they want to hear.
They had to, so they just a few months ago, they shut down the incels subreddit. They immediately made a new one called Brain Cells. Right. And then there was another one after that. And it was just like they keep having to fucking shut it down. They're like, fuck, dude, this is crazy. Because they're all just like edgy teenagers, just like.
Well, go on 4chan then, assholes.
Exactly.
You know?
Leave us alone over here. Like,
but also, think about the guy who created the right nationalists or whatever. What do they call them?
Right.
He goes on Vice literally saying he knew how to get people by exploiting the meme culture. And that's what we're dealing with are a lot of people that aren't doing their research past seeing that meme that makes them fit.
Right. And and again, it's that they're seeing what they want to see and reading what they want to read. So I'm going to pause and put the camera on my face for a second while I address this because
I can't wait.
This is some shit. Okay, here we go. Hey, look, it's my face. Hold on.
Hey.
Let me adjust the lens a little bit here. Oh, wait, no, hold on.
Get your soapbox ready.
I just got to zoom out a little.
Ooh, wow. Doomsday Danny went to school with star children.
Ooh.
Oh. Wow. Yeah, so what I was going to say is that, as y'all know, I'm sure, Michael G. Martino and Brian Konietzko, who are the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender, exited the Netflix live action series.
I did hear this, yes.
Yeah, and so basically, you know, their statement was pretty funny. There was a very backhanded compliment in it being like, well, I don't know, it might be something that people like, but I assure you it won't be the show we wanted to make.
Whoa.
And so then what ended up happening was that a bunch of there was this article that was going around for a while, basically a couple days later on a site called Fandom Wire, which is not a legitimate source. Not a legitimate source. That was basically just telling people exactly what they wanted to hear. It's like, oh, they exited the series because they were forcing them to audition white actors and they weren't, going to give them as much money as they wanted. And they kind of led in with the money statement because that happens a lot in production. Like there's budgetary disputes constantly. And then, they didn't even cite creative differences. They didn't really say why they left. They just said they were leaving, that in the official statement that was put out. So then this article goes on to say like, oh yeah, they were going to force them to cast white actors and they were going to make it dark and Game of Thronesy and blah, blah, blah. And so this article starts getting circulated because again, it is just playing on what everybody seems to think the reasons are. That doesn't mean that those are not the reasons, but those have not officially been stated. And on top of that, the fact that this is a completely illegitimate source, the person who wrote this article is Andy Signor. So like, he is somebody, like literally it was a perfect example of somebody who is out of favor, trying to curry favor with the masses by telling them what they want to hear.
Wow.
Who's that person?
Oh my God. He used to host movie fights at Screen Junkies.
Yeah, he's largely accused by the community for a lot of misconduct and
a lot of sexual misconduct involving fans, interns particularly.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
One of those.
So sorry, all that was my little
Well, no, but that's a really great example though, of using the hive mind against itself.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like that's really. I think I'll tell you what, at the very end of the day, what this world, you guys know, I think I've told you there's a couple of QAnoners now in my family and they don't realize they are, but they are just because they're feeding into these memes.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to combat them with like research, right? Like
yes. Yeah.
Because they're told that the sources are against them as well.
Correct. Yes.
But more than anything, what this all has taught me in the pandemic and Trump and what's so fascinating is it's been this way for a long time. You can't trust the media. I'm right, they're wrong. He's just fucking telling you outright bold-faced, right? Like
right.
Just like uncover. He literally is pulling the mask off the face of politicians who make it seem like you're supposed to trust them, and he's just saying it is such a good thing, right? But ultimately, I research things now.
Yeah.
You have to. I check.
You have to. Yes.
I don't repost something until I know how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Just the only way.
Yeah.
It's the only way because I have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. The more followers we have on our sites, people look to us also.
Yeah.
Well, that's why when the BLM stuff initially, when the protests initially started, people were really upset at Trixie, Mattel, and Katya. For the longest time, they didn't speak up, and then they issued apologies next week, and they said, "You know what? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that I needed to say something because it's so important, and a lot of you guys look to us, and we're sorry for disappointing you, for not letting you know that we are on your side immediately, because it was just the fact that they just didn't want to oversaturate, but then they realized like, well, one outweighs the other, like really.
Yep.
Well, and we were all on a learning curve too, because I remember the feeling of like, well, I don't want to add to the clamor. I want to let the news get out. And I also don't want to look like I'm a fucking white person who's just trying to
I hate to use the term like virtue signaling because I think that gets thrown around a lot. But
it's important to know what it is.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah, and that was some of the conversations I had with both, Jess and Emma individually about that, because I know that it was very hard or strange trying to navigate it as a white person. Because but in the end, you guys both figured it out, and I think you guys are handling it very well.
Well, I'm really grateful that Ripley has been working on a lot of this stuff for a little bit now too, because more than anything, it helped me in a safe place discover how much indoctrination I had when it came to and that's like where what we were talking about earlier, where you're not your first thought comes in, because like fuck man, I have a lot of first thoughts that suck that I was raised with. So
you're not your first thought.
And there's differing thoughts, and other people feel differently. Like Robin DiAngelo will say, "You will never not be a racist. You will never not be a prejudiced person." And then there's other people that are like, "No, you can grow." Like,
you really can.
You can make a mistake in your thought. So I'd like to believe that I'm on the journey of actually not being racist anymore, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like
systemically,
Just
trying to undo that. Yeah.
So many different elements to it.
Yeah.
And being aware that I'm not going to get it right because it wasn't my experience.
Yeah, exactly. And like you will gain more experiences, and you will listen, and you will learn. Like that's a lot of what it is like coming to terms with like, how privileged you are. Like that's the thing, is that like inherently, if you are a white person, you have a certain amount of privilege, and it doesn't mean that like your life's not difficult in other ways. You know what I mean?
Well, everyone has their own spectrum.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're allowed to express yourself according to your spectrum.
And it just means basically that like the color of your skin is not one of the things that has made your life difficult. And that was a conversation that like I was having with my dad, where I was like, I feel like I feel like a certain level of guilt sometimes about my success, because I feel like the system was in my favor. It was set up for me to succeed as someone who comes from an affluent white family. And my dad was like, well, yeah, but also like we would not have done our job as parents if you were not in that position.
Well, it's my dad always says that the next generation is always supposed to be better off. That's how we believe. And so that's why they came, over here. And
I mean, my dad too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like you're supposed to like set your kids up for success. Like that's what and there's no I think your parents did a great job in giving you that opportunity, but then also teaching you to use your privilege for good.
Yes, no, completely. And I think that's interesting that you bring that up too, Janel, because I feel like that attitude of like, oh, the next generation is always supposed to be better off than the previous one. Like, I feel like that is a very common like mindset with immigrants. Because again, it's like, so my dad is an immigrant. And my mom.
Where did your dad migrate from?
Scotland.
Scotland.
And then, but yeah, so it's like he's an immigrant, and also like my mom her dad is what his parents were both Russian Jewish immigrants. So like I can trace that back in my family like pretty closely. So
that's totally
that's an interesting concept that it seems, oh God, it was when the conversation was really heavily around the wall, and I believe it was an indigenous person who said it is not surprising that people who didn't respect the land and boundaries of a nation that was already there to protect it and be afraid of other people taking the land.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, because it's like we stole this land to begin with.
It's the hubris and the irony all wrapped up into one.
Yeah. And like and like some of the other conversation I was having with my dad too was like this idea of like how sort of like in America there will always be like, because there was, this country largely was made of people that like had to leave their countries of origin. Like in the very beginning, it was a lot of white Europeans who were like being persecuted religiously and basically like had to leave. They had to leave or they had to conform. So they went with leaving. And so that is where that sort of libertarian attitude comes from, that will always be present in some people in this country, but that is not what makes America great. What makes America great is the melting pot of all of these cultures that have made up this country. Like that is really what makes this a great country. It isn't about like valuing your individual liberties above all else, even though because that was partially in the basis of what this country was founded on, like that will never go away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Uberbaldi, welcome.
Sorry, I got into some freaking heavy talk there, y'all.
No, I think I do that.
All good.
I'm not sorry. We're sharing how we converse with each other too.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
I'm so fucking uncomfortable right now, you guys.
You know what?
Andy, out.
True, because I'm white. Actually, fucking true. We were watching. I think. Did you play it on stream? Benel, it was a 10-minute set, stand-up set from Bob the Drag Queen.
No, I'm saving up for next week.
Oh yeah.
I won't spoil anything, but she was like, all right, like, where's my straight people in the crowd? And then, few people like, or it's like, it used to be like
or like 10 years ago, if you asked yeah, everyone's like cheering. Whereas like now, when you ask like, oh, where are my straight people at? Everyone's like,
me.
Me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of it though too is I think that like there's the I guess part of it, but I think there is also the aspect of like a lot of people are being like, well, I don't know if I am straight.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least that's like how I personally feel.
Yeah.
Well, and there's got to be a median point where like this is something like you said, Janel, like. When Black Lives Matter finally raised to the awareness that it needed to be in for so long, people that were benefiting from a system that was in their favor all of a sudden started like having an existential crisis. Like,
right.
Oh, fuck, do I step aside or what do I do? Or how do I not contribute? And very quickly, I'm very grateful, and that's why I say Ripley really helped me with this by having us work on it sooner. Or
because you were already working on this stuff before George Floyd passed.
I'm not, but that doesn't make me better or worse.
I'm just saying you guys already had this plan in motion because
that was your circumstance,
and I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, totally.
But what I did. If no one's here to make me feel bad for being white. I just need to recognize it. You're not bad for being straight. You're not a bad person also for committing a microaggression. Like that's what White Fragility the book talks about, and I think everyone needs to read it. And again, there's not all of her thoughts are exactly right, but it's such a great primer for people that are we shut down when we talk about race, and then we're shut down when like. People call us out for a microaggression and then we get defensive. A great example is like a friend of mine was walking with her friend and they were walking by a farm and my one friend is a vegetarian and the other friend is not. And they see cows on this farm or on this ranch. Yeah. And the meat eating friend goes, lunch or dinner to the vegetarian. She knows what she's saying is crazy. But she's like planting her pole in the ground and saying this is, almost overcompensating. And again, identity. Like I know this is bad, so I'm just gonna overcompensate.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's weird.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Winston said, so I've been lurking since the Swell raid. Man, the sexuality question is a big one for me. I've been trying to figure out my own for the last year and I still don't know. I think you don't even need to know.
You don't need to.
Yeah, I don't think that you do need to know these days, and I think that's a good thing. It's like, and like, it's like.
And I appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like acknowledging the fact that like you might be somewhere on, the bisexuality spectrum, or maybe lean towards pansexual, where you feel like, oh, I'm more attracted to like a person than a gender. And like I think there's a lot of room. It's sort of in the sexuality spectrum.
It used to be LGBT. Now they're adding Q's and Z's and
eyes and
everything. Yeah. Well, because it is that. Wide
it is that. It's totally that wide.
To where, it took me a while to, when you're a kid, you think of like queer as like a slur, right? But queer,
it was.
Queer encompasses a lot of that type of feeling to where
and I think that Yeah, and I think, credit to the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which was definitely more the gag of like, these fabulous gay men are going to come in and fix this incompetent straight boy. And I think, but at the time, like it was definitely an era of like reclaiming the word queer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was like.
I watched Queer as Folk.
Totally.
My sister and I, when our parents would go to bed, like I'd watch it with my sister.
Yeah.
So this is something I've been thinking about, especially like when it put in contrast with. I was raised in LA, right? And,
right.
By parents that had a lot of prejudice, and a lot of that prejudice was fed into them by the media. You know? So it's part of it. So how did I walk out of that situation? Not completely. So I credit the people that were brave in media, like Ellen and stuff, and say what you will, but like she would be the first.
But then Ellen.
Well, then right,
absolutely.
But to lose her job and still come back, and like my dad would like lament the lesbian agenda. Like Rosie O'Donnell's another good example.
Oh yeah, I loved Rosie O'Donnell back in the day.
Well, of course, people and I think people like Trump attack her because she had power. Her and the Nickelodeon woman. Those were people that were like educating kids like myself and going, hey, there's another way. And those are like the real pioneers who had no one backing them up.
Yeah.
Like in the face of like, don't ask, don't tell. And,
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
No, I remember telling Janel, like, my first exposure to like RuPaul probably in the late 90s or early 2000s. And it wasn't like, this is weird. I was like, what? Like, why is this? Or just it was like, this is interesting.
Just
it just was. And what's his name? Eddie Izzard or
oh my God.
Where it's like
he definitely normalized it, right?
Yeah.
Because he was a straight man just doing it just because he wants to wear it on stage.
I do think he has boobs now, though.
What?
I think he has boobs now.
Oh, okay.
I think he does too. Yeah.
He didn't say it outright. He goes, "Oh, these? I got the necklace at." But
and that was like the thing is like machismo motherfuckers like my big brother. It's funny because like it took a long time for him to get out of that, and that's because more of my the small town culture, not my father, because my father is not like that. My dad's my dad's very machismo, but my dad also likes to go to drag shows. Like he doesn't give it, like
really,
yeah.
We got Janelle's parents like was it like a pride flag and like
my parents they have a BLM, they have a and the pride flag. They were really happy to put that up because their neighbors down the street put up a Trump thing. Some of my dad was like, my dad was like, we wanted to put this stuff up before, but we didn't want to offend it. Yeah, they didn't want. My parents didn't want to offend anybody. Then my mom said, like, you should have seen, like, one of our black neighbors walked over. She went to go see it. She was pissed off. So my dad was like, he called me. He's like, you need to get me this. Like, can you find some flags? I said, yeah, I can order them right now, Dad.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, because he was like, I want them to know that they feel that they're safe in the neighborhood and they're supported.
Wow,
and I'm like,
great.
and because like it's just crazy for me to like, I mean, because again, the guy that lives down the street, he's just like a normal white guy that like, he was probably just raised that way and doesn't know any better and just is like.
Well, and again, it's his identity, right? And so I was thinking about how, even when you search something, it says not relevant or irrelevant. What he did was make people who were beginning to feel irrelevant like they were relevant again. Because nothing feels worse than irrelevancy.
Yes.
Especially when you don't have something, like when you weren't encouraged as a society to figure out your passion and you just had kids or there's a lot of factors at play.
Yeah, like you just kind of followed the like, oh, okay, so what everybody does is you grow up, you get a job, you get married, you get a house, you have children, rather than like taking a moment to go, well, is this really what I want?
And that doesn't mean just because you go to do what you want, you're going to walk out a liberal.
No, totally.
Because there are plenty of well-knowing people who vote for Trump that know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're manipulating the system for their benefit. But but I guess that's the thing that's just the hardest thing for us all too, is how do you have a conversation with someone that isn't like-minded with you and just hear them out for their perspective.
Yeah.
They for sure are there for a reason that they don't agree with you, just in the same way that we are here in the way that we don't agree with them.
Right.
And we can't just go, well, fuck them because they're human.
Right.
Or they're our family. And that's not easy.
It's not easy.
But it's been pretty cool. One of the Ripleys went to I think it was an anti-racism or something like that, but it was like how to have hard conversations with people. So especially because as liberals, we eat our own, man. And
we do.
And
we do.
What was really interesting is because of the Black Lives Matter movement, there were a lot of Republicans or people that voted for Trump going, oh, frick, I don't want to. This is weird. I don't align with this. But then if they come over to our side and we're like, yeah, but do you still want no abortion?
Oh, my God. Yes, exactly. It's like, just take the win.
Yep.
And we won't do it.
Yeah.
So we got to learn. And so one of the girls learned from a group that was teaching this to a company and said, you know who does that really well, who folds people in and why they have so many followers? Fucking religion, church.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, I'm really lost. Okay, cool. Just come have brunch with us. And
come have this stress test.
Well, and that's Scientologists, man.
Yeah.
Well, fucking A, right?
Yeah. Nope, you're not exactly. Well, that was interesting too, because I was talking with my my dad about that also, where he was kind of like, he's like, the vast majority of people are not like these awful racists. You know what I mean? Like the vast majority of people really are. There really is like this big contingency of people who are genuinely, they don't know what the right thing to do is. Like they feel like their beliefs are being challenged, but they're open to them being challenged. But the problem is if we immediately attack somebody being like, oh, you're not liberal enough for us, then like that doesn't help anybody.
It doesn't help anybody. And I think that's something that Robin DiAngelo talks about too in White Fragility, is that we conflate racism with like Ku Klux Klan and like burning crosses and like what people were experiencing during the civil rights movement. And so that's why people, if you call someone a racist, which we all are inherently because we were raised to be fucking insane, like you conflate yourself with those people when in reality that helps nobody, because you're like, I'm not that, I don't hate them. Of course you don't.
But of course you don't. Yeah.
But you're a benefit of this.
You have to rewire your brain because the way that you were raised, like you know. And it's so fucking crazy because I've seen so many in gaming culture is very much occupied by the incels and by really not necessarily incels but edgelords that like to go to 4chan and then repeat that meme on in game because they want to make you feel like you're not welcome.
They want to get that reaction,
and
because they're anonymous, that they'll never see you again.
Exactly.
So who cares?
But I will say there have been more people lately, at least for Overwatch. I've noticed a lot of people there's a lot more of that behavior, sure, but there's a lot more people speaking up about it. Like kids, other teens that are like, that's not funny,
cool.
Dude. That's not even funny. Yeah, like you sound stupid. I mean, like I do it all the time. I've always done that, but it's nice to have a little bit of backup. It's like,
and that will cause it to change too. This looks really great, Andy. Look at that shading.
Thank you.
Like at a certain point, they're doing that because they feel cool with their 4chan friends. Like, oh, dude, I did this, and this was the reaction. Yep. And the less and less that happens, they will fall off of that.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's definitely like an interesting like conversation, I think, as you say, like in the gaming space of like where things are going and kind of like the fact that people are getting tired of that behavior. And I think that what it is that like in the gaming community, it's not so much that like those are the only people in there so much as like they're a very, very vocal minority. But it's the same thing that like I had a friend say one time about YouTube comments that like YouTube comments basically were like church. And it's like most people are there to like go to church and pay attention and whatever. You can also equate this to be like a library. So it's like people are there to read books and study and, focus. And then like 4 drunk people come in. And the only thing that you remember about that library or that church is the 4 drunk people. You don't like remember that otherwise. Actually, it was really pleasant. And most of the people there were nice and they were like not abusing the system and they were doing, they were there for the right reasons to be there. Yeah. But you're just that a vocal minority can leave such especially a very negative vocal minority can just really leave an awful impact on people.
Absolutely.
And I think too, and I think too, it doesn't help that like a lot of gaming culture has been sort of stereotyped that way. And you kind of have the stereotype of like the basement nerd, but like that's not gamers. Like the gaming community is really, really diverse, and like the types of games that people like are really, really diverse. And it's like, so
and
I think
do any less valid or more so for the different types of games you play.
No, totally,
Jesus.
Well, because there's some statistic where gamers are basically half women.
Oh yeah,
it was like more than started with comic books, and then
you would never ever know it because they're not allowed to.
Because they're not allowed to participate. Like they're not allowed to participate in the culture. Yeah.
So I sent in my my hire me letter to G4, and I was like, you know what? I'm not a real gamer. A lot of people on the internet say that, and I just thought I'm gonna be face forward with you and say I'm not a real gamer. I'm an unreal gamer that's been playing since I was 3.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you. I was reading Nintendo Power when I was 3.
Totally.
It's very much part of our, like in the 90s, we're very saturated by gaming culture, just console gaming culture.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I feel like the console gaming culture of the 90s, like I felt included in that. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Although we were not advertised to. So that's I told you guys that I sent a letter to Nintendo around that time. And I was like, why is there a commercial that says, come on boys, come get this game that I play?
Right. I'm a girl though.
They buy it,
Yeah.
I want to play too.
Yeah.
Well, I am playing it,
Yeah. Well, yeah. Where it's like, or I am playing it. Yeah, like exactly.
Yeah, like, it's not even I want to play. It's like I'm actively playing this game. Why are you not acknowledging that like I am part of this conversation and I am somebody that you should be marketing to?
I was a little feminist. I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had big little sister syndrome, like major little sister syndrome, I should rephrase, because my brother, I sort of played whatever. He plays 3 years older than me. And then I would always play like, if he wanted to play this certain character, like a Sunset Riders, he wanted to be Billy, then I was going to be the other guy. I was going to always be, I always wanted to play, always wanted to impress him. So I would play by myself because I would want to him to like want to hang out with me because I'm good at the game too,
Oh,
and
girl, you're making me sad for what I did to my sister, but carry on.
No, it's funny because then I ended up later on throughout the years getting closer to my younger brother who. He's the one who he does he's coaching Valorant.
He is a gamer,
yeah. He's coaching Valorant team now, and
neat.
Yeah, and he and I got really close, and I remember we got really good at Mortal Kombat, but the only way that we could get our big brother to play with us is if we pretended to be bad and lose. So we would just lose. We would lose to get John to play with us because we were like,
that's so sad.
I know. But now and it's funny because like I always did PC in some regard. Like I did PC because obviously we were on the computer doing like AOL and all that shit.
Yeah.
And so SWAT 3 came out around that time. We played Diablo, the first one on the console, but the Diablo 2 when that came out in, what was it, 99 or so?
That's
2000,
2000 I think.
2000, that was the juice. That was like the hook, the hooker. Like I was like, I love this, being.
Yeah.
So even though, because I never had a console, so I would go do comedy and stuff throughout the years, and then I would come home and I would play fucking Diablo because I was like, I would play Diablo 3. Like that was always my juice.
Yeah.
And like I didn't learn how to aim until I got Overwatch. When Overwatch has been, it's 4 years now. So it took me 2 years to learn how to aim, and I got everybody fucking yelled at me for 2 years, and they yell at me now, and I yell back. I'm like, check my stats, they're fucking better than yours. I guarantee it. It's like I put the work in, and it took a long time, but it was like I love PC gaming, and it's so crazy that that people like to separate PC gaming from console gaming, because that, to me, console gaming is so valid.
Thank you.
It does qualify people. But I'm saying, like, so for example, last night we tried to play Friday the 13th. Of course, like, I know mouse and keyboard because it takes a long time to get used to it. But
I literally could not figure it out at all
And to me, I was like, no, like, I totally understand, like, where, like someone's like, oh, it's just shift forehead, but it's like, your hand, it's a fucking instrument, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta, and you're gonna get fast. You're gonna learn it really quickly, but it's gonna take a while. So it's like, it's expected to get for you to get frustrated, and then use the remote whenever you can, because I guarantee you are better at using a controller than I am. Like, I am trash at using a controller. The only one that I can use is a PS4, and that's because I played console when I would be, years before. I am not good. The Xbox controller is so foreign to me. It's so foreign. Yeah.
I missed out on that hard.
Yeah.
Halo, baby.
Yeah, I did play Halo when it first came out.
Mm-hmm. I watched my friend play Halo, but I didn't play it. So I'm like, I know, like, that would be something, I guess, maybe to go back on. But, like, damn, I am such a fan of how much video game culture is so prominent in our pop culture now, especially because we do have a mix of PC and console. So I'm just like, I'm grateful. Like, I'm living for it,
I like it too. It's really nice, especially because, like, I do feel, and whoever said the thing about running, somebody in my chat, like, very nicely offered shift. They were not mean about the way that they offered it. I couldn't figure it out. Like, my chat was super cool. But yeah, like, again, like, I'm not a PC gamer. I've had a console since I was born. My dad had a Nintendo. Like,
we had the Sega Master. So I was a Nintendo family. I was a Sega Master. Like, I was a Sega family.
Yeah, exactly.
So from Genesis to Saturn, like, I did that. But like I would go across to my neighbors in our apartment complex. They lived across the way. So we would trade, like, sessions. We would be like, oh, let's go over there and go see what the Nintendo household's doing. Go do 64. Like, that's part of the neighborhood vibe. Is like, who has what console?
Yeah, we didn't have N64. Our neighbors did, though, and, like, they didn't have PlayStation at first. They eventually got PlayStation, and then, like, when the next generation of consoles came out, like, we did get a GameCube, but we didn't have an N64, and for a while they didn't have a PlayStation, so we just go back and forth. Like, we'd go over to their house to play GoldenEye, and they'd come over to our house to play Ridge Racer and Tekken and Jet Moto.
And that's
squinting.
It's truly, like, that was part of the parent strategy back then too, is like talking to the neighbors, or be like, which one are you gonna get, because there was no cross-play anyway. It was like no, like, internet. So you're always like, are the kids going over to another house, or
totally
over, where it's like maximum entertainment for them.
Yeah, though I am thinking, because there's so much free to play now, Bandy, I'm considering starting to play Final Fantasy 14. I know you play.
If you get into it, I will get back into it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Andy, like, I mean, all that Andy needs to play an MMO. All that Andy needs to play an MMO is a friend. Like, he just wants to know who's playing it, and then he'll join in.
True. Like, that's
I'll play with you.
That's always what's brought me into trying, like, a new MMO, and I'm glad that
it's either that, or we could start doing like PSO online too.
I thought about that too.
Yeah.
I would.
If you're like, I'm not that interested and I'd rather play Final Fantasy 14, like, I'm freaking in.
From what I've seen with Phantasy Star Online 2, first of all, I think you would like 14 more because of the, first of all, it has a very thorough.
The glamour girl, you would love.
It has a very thorough like story, like it feels like you're playing an offline.
Yeah, there's
the
a Final Fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that nerd you're playing.
The amount of fucking fan service will blow your socks off. I promise you. Like the sound effects, the music, the bosses and shit.
Yeah, you're like this is, as a Final Fantasy fan, like, this is your jam. Yeah. I mean, I played the original Phantasy Star Online on Dreamcast, like, a lot. Which is why there's a little bit of appeal for me with PSO2. But I have been thinking about getting into Final Fantasy 14 for a while. So
so when I say, like, Andy needs a friend, like, he has friends that play MMOs, but he has to be inspired. And so, like, for you to play, like, he'll reinstate that, because he was doing World of Warcraft with, like, Arn before Arn Life, who's another friend of ours, but like he was doing that because he was playing it, and so he kind of switches, back and forth. But I love the fact that you can just reactivate a character that you already have, though.
Yeah,
it's like, renew your your subscription,
dust off
and
my level 80 monk.
And I mean, sweet. That might be the one thing that gets me interested in it, because the glamour is really fucking cool in that game.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things is like Andy calling me over to go like, like I don't know what to wear, and I'm like, ooh, which drag queen do I want you to be?
Yeah. and as I say, like, there's so much free to play on that game now that it's like crazy.
Yeah.
No, like if you're serious about it, then like I'll just make a new character. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I want to play.
So I have a question related to the whole drag queen thing.
Yes.
What exactly are drag kings?
Drag kings are bio women dressing as male.
Yeah.
And so they're blurring that line. But let me also like say this. So there was a little bit of drama recently with not drama, but so there's this thing on Drag Race, which is not the end all be all of drag. This is just what's on TV. But Drag Race,
the most popular, most
and
mainstream.
A Snatch Game is something that comes up every season where everybody does. It's like match game where everyone is a character. You're impersonating a character. Yeah, you play celebrities, and then you make jokes and stuff. And so Shea Coulee did Flavor Flav, right? And it was fucking hilarious. It was so good. But some people were like, no, you can't do that. Good. But the whole point of it is like it was an updated version of Flavor Flav, like who roses are red, violets are blue. I just realized that you were a dude, like where it's like shit like that, where it's like and the whole point of drag is like it's really just blurring the lines of like so for me, I've considered being like a bio queen, like where I'm like, oh, if I had wigs and do my makeup, whatever, can be all crazy.
Yeah.
But that would be like high. Like the whole point is you have to be hyper feminine. You do that, like you're just like even more exaggerated because you're still blurring the lines. I'm not a woman. I'm a woman. It's like,
right. Yeah.
And so. I mean, so drag kings are very interesting. There's a lot of, I wanted to go back, I want to research that soon because there's a lot of really cool footage of that from like the 80s of the first time that women were doing drag as men.
Oh yeah, and, painting on stubble, like fucking.
Yes.
Walking around in a wife beater, grabbing their crotches and shit.
That's a big part of ball culture. Like it's like category is this, category is that, and so it's like if like I could be like I could dress Andy up as a drag king and make him hyper male.
Totally.
Like where it's like totally like just like macho guy. Like that's not Andy, but that's that's blurring the line of like of
it doesn't
of
get much more masculine than this. This slab of beef right here, pal.
All right.
It looks good, Andy.
I'm talking about myself, but thank you.
I'm talking about your drawing because you held it up and said this slab of beef right here.
Yeah.
All right. Look at my girl. She's looking beautiful.
She's a woman.
Ooh, she's a woman.
See?
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Scott, I have a question. When you made our, let me grab my mini real quick. I'll show you everybody. Be right back. Hold on.
That's so good.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
You mean my drag ice queen?
Yeah. I gotta repaint one of her little like boob armors here.
I wanted to ask. Okay, so I'm gonna show everybody. This is so Scott had made all of us from Blood Curdling Tales. So this is a mini that he painted of Leanne Hamilton.
Yes.
And so my question is, I guess, how long does it usually take you for something like this, where you're making it in mind, like this is a gift and I want to add these things, blah, blah, blah. Like how long did this take you? How long did it does it take you on average for like a gift like this?
Yeah, that took me a very long time.
I mean, it seems like it. That's why I'm asking, and I'm grateful.
Yeah. I should have kept track, actually. It would have been good. Oh, hi, buddy. How you doing?
Hi, Chachi.
Yeah? Oh.
Night.
Good night.
He's off. I don't know exactly because I would do them. I had all four sort of in front of me at once because like some of the colors are the same on different models. So like I could do one on the same color on one and then on another.
That's smart.
Yeah. Trying to cut down on some things, but Yeah, I don't need. You know what? I don't know as far as hours, but it. Okay. I mean, I had it on my.
You did it collectively, so I guess
Yeah.
So
yeah. And I would work on it a little bit each day, and then. But yes, it took a long time.
Well, it's not for naught. Like I very much appreciate it. It's like it's on my wall, and I love it very much. Literally last night I was playing Deceit, which is a game. It's like a werewolf type game, and I literally picked. I unlocked a cosmetic because I was like, that looks like what Scott painted on Leanne. I wanted it.
Yeah, can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have some of the models here that I've painted before. Like I said, most of the stuff I paint is for gifts that go to other people.
Yeah.
But like with this new contrast stuff, it's really cool because like this troll is this took me like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Wow.
Like the new stuff it's so great because of the way, especially if the skin or whatever it is has texture, it just the dark spots just go right into the recesses, and it looks really cool.
You get that like what do they call it, like ambient occlusion type of thing where
and otherwise like you'd have to go over it with washes.
Yes. I'm using the contrast paint as well on this and can confirm it like does the work itself. It's neat.
Yeah, exactly. WizKids sent me some of their new unpainted X-Men HeroClix figures. So, like I painted these.
Wow.
And like this one, there was no sculpt, so I freehand did all of the pattern on him, which I'm pretty proud of.
Shit.
That's cool.
So, yeah, so that was cool. And then like on Angel here, I kind of like made my own version of the uniform.
Oh, those wings.
And then I did. It was so funny because like I have the actual painted figure from WizKids, and then I got this unpainted one, and I put one coat of silver paint on the wings and held it up next to the original miniature. It was like, that's all they did. It was literally one coat of paint. And like, no, I'm gonna go in. So I shaded it. I added some detail, but
that's so interesting.
My camera's way too scuffed for you to see like how this actually looks, but yeah, you can see like the way the light.
We'll all post pictures afterwards.
I could see your nails too. They're so pretty. You got.
Oh, thank you. They're stick on.
They stick on nice. Cool.
I don't know if Uber's still in the chat, but I think my best paint job I ever did was the miniature that he made for me over at Hyper and sent me. But like this guy, there's some pictures online. But I don't know if you can see, but he's got goggles on, and like I actually did. I think it was four different colors just on the goggle lenses, and then So this one was cool. This one took me a very long time, and I just experimented with just really thinning down paints and doing layer after layer of different colors and blending them. So there are different techniques and some stuff that you can do faster than others.
Love that. Bless, can I see yours?
Good.
What are you working on right now on it?
Oh, that looks great, Jess.
Yeah,
it's not bad. I'm just deciding how much I want things to be. Hold on. How much I want things to be bronze and how much I want them to be silver. And so I'm liking, because like the funny thing about the orcs is they really just piece scraps together.
Yeah.
But and so actually now that I'm saying that, I'm realizing they could have taken scraps from a copper model and just put them on this. Because I was trying, like, I'm having a hard time deciding like what parts should be what color. So every time something is like should be bronze, I just go in with it.
A little bit more turquoise there. The turquoise.
Yeah, orc players have the most fun building and painting because you can literally do anything you want.
Just Frankenstein it pretty much.
Yeah.
My turquoise color for whatever is very explodey.
Nope.
It's fine. I got it under control. It's fine.
So, Scott, I know multiple things like engage you when it comes to this hobby, but like, would you say it's the lore more than the building, or is it the painting more than the lore, or is it the building? You know, what is it?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's kind of all of it, I guess. I really do like all of the different aspects, sort of in my own way, I guess. Oh, bye, Danny. Thanks for hanging out.
Bye, Danny. Thank you so much.
I mean, there are certainly aspects of the lore that are really silly and that I don't love, but you know, I take that with a grain of salt, and that's sort of part of the fun is making fun of the stuff that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I really like building models, and I really like painting models. I just don't have as much time for it.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, I've definitely found this to be a hobby that I enjoy on a lot of different levels.
Do you like painting, Pepper?
No.
I'm gonna take a look for another brush. We'll be right back.
Cool.
Andy, we fucking get it, dude.
Wow.
It's a different.
Wow,
it's a
Bandy.
self-monitor. I get a different perspective. Okay, pal.
Just trying to get in there with that. Fill in these little dots that are missing with the turquoise. I haven't really particularly painted miniatures before, so this has largely been experimentation.
Cool.
You're doing great.
Thank you. I'm pleased with my work. I think I did a good job.
It's all about experimentation.
Yeah.
There's so many different techniques. I mean, you could just spend days on YouTube looking at all these different videos. You just got to kind of find what works for you.
Yeah.
And also, painting is not a hobby that has to be expensive. I know lots of like professional level painters who just get all their stuff at Walmart, because you can just get acrylic paints at Walmart, and those are
Target. They don't really sell acrylics, but they are starting to now. But Walmart has always been pretty good for crafts. They have because they also sell fabric there, and it's cheaper. But I mean, and they sell fabric. They sell stuff for your sewing machine. They sell but yeah, paints. When I first started painting, I use acrylic. I exclusively. I haven't worked with oil yet, so I don't know how difficult that is. But I love acrylic paint, and so I've always been. I'm glad that I'm able to get there. But sorry, I
don't know. I was gonna say, I think when we were in college, we didn't have we had a fabric store that really was just for supplying to the costume shop that was really good fabric, but other than that, we didn't even have a Joanne, so we would have to kind of get fabric at Walmart to just do sort of hobby sewing.
Yeah, actually
my favorite acrylic is $10 a fucking flat of paint. It's just, and it's the best. I've bought the $60 stuff, and it really is just what technique works for you. And
really the money kind of comes from the brushes, the brushes are if it depends on the type of material you want to use. If you want to use is it quail or not quail, but there's a few of them that are
there's different
so that's how bougie you want to be with sable, and how bougie you want to be with the wood of the thing, but to me really what at the end of the day what matters is this brush, is it gonna break off if it becomes hard, because you let it dry on accident, and that type of thing. It's what's the resiliency of the brushes. And the same thing for makeup brushes too. I use some actual of my old paint brushes for makeup, because I'm that's interesting. Yeah, they're great. Yeah.
Well, because at the end of the day, paint brushes just don't last. They just don't.
They don't.
You use it, and I got really good at using the broken bristle brush because I was in the mode with it.
Right. Yeah.
But they fucking betray you when you're trying to do a fine detail.
Well, exactly.
But you can trim a brush as well. Any of the wonky hairs you can trim too.
Totally. Yeah, I guess I just learned that I'm probably, if I don't paint for a while, I probably need to go buy some brushes. You know?
Well, I'm like that with projects in general, because whenever I'm writing a new script, I have to go buy a new notebook, just actual paper.
I get it.
Because you want to be fresh. You don't want to be oh man, I haven't finished the other one. You want something new, something new. So same thing with brushes. Sometimes you get inspired because you got new brushes. You go, that would be great for this detail. So to me, tools are a source of inspiration sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with it. I actually tossed all my old journals and I have like 2 fucking drawers of journals that like haven't been used, so that like I can't go buy another one.
Yeah. Yeah, I have like, I mean, one of the shelves on the bookshelf behind me is just purely like it's a mix of Andy's sketchbooks that have been filled and also like unfinished notebooks that I have mine from writing. But
yeah,
I'm gonna go rinse this brush out. Arabic.
Interesting.
Hi, Pepper.
It's tiny bit tacky.
I'm about done with old Gale here.
Mm.
Yeah, that will do.
Nice.
I thought that was Frank for a second, then I realized it was Max.
Oh, yeah.
Fun.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We did it.
Okay.
Here is
Watch that.
the camera out. This is
yeah.
Andy made these when Overwatch first came out. He drew Soldier 76 and McCree.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
Oh, where's that primer? There it is. There it is.
Turned out good.
Sure it did.
Okay.
Wow.
Janelle, you look so pretty.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna do some little bit of space dots now. You can't really hear it, Bandy. Are you low, Bandy?
Am I a little? I'll juice it up a little bit.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear it great.
I think I'm just speaking a little softly as well.
Soft-spoken baby.
Imagine out screaming into your mic. Me.
Get so relaxed.
That would be me.
when
I'm
I'm
fucking always
drawing.
screaming. I called the kid a brainlet the other day.
A brainlet?
He's an idiot. Yeah. I said, you absolute fucking brainlet. Because he was like, I know, yeah, he was saying, because he was following, I said, he was following some of the other people in the game. Someone talked shit to me. And then he started doing it, and I said, you're following suit, dude. It's clear that you guys are, like, queued up together. And he was like, how can I follow suit if he's a human, a person? And I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry that the education system failed you because you clearly don't know. And he continued, like, fucking egging me on. So I was like, yeah, I called him a brainlet. And I was like, I haven't used that word.
Brainlet? That's so
I've never
funny.
heard of a brainlet before.
It's just a fucking moron. That's all it is.
Is it like tiny brain?
It's like tiny brain. Like your brain is so small, it's a brainlet, you know?
Yeah.
It's like a manlet?
Yeah, you don't, manlet, yeah. You don't, I mean, like, you don't just say you're shit at the game. You usually say you're dog shit at the game. Like, you're absolute dog shit. Like, it just, dog shit for some reason just hurts more. I'm just teaching guys the strats. That's it. These are the strats.
I'm gonna learn how to trash talk from Janelle.
I mean, Emma, you're pretty good at it because we would play Fall Guys and
yeah,
I was
true.
like, yeah. I was like, this is my friend. I was like, hell yeah. She's like, fuck this guy. This guy's a little bitch. And I was like, yeah, he's a bitch. Get him.
You definitely, I was telling Janelle on the phone the other day that you guys have given us a whole new vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Clicking heads. Yep.
Clicking heads.
I was one of Janelle's go-to phrases, what the fuck, Richard, was part of my my gaming tool set for a while, for sure.
What the fuck, Richard? It's so funny because he was like, that kid was so pissed that he threw his frisbee into the freeway. He's just genuinely so upset. He's like, what the fuck, Richard? We all went to school with a fucking Richard, an asshole that was like,
yeah, we did all go to school.
Chaotic Richard.
Isn't that what we agreed on? Is like the male Karen is Richard.
I thought it was Kevin or Chad.
No, Chad is like, you're an absolute
Chad
warlord.
Chad's not right.
Let's see. What was it?
Well, I like Richard because any other choice of the name Richard is cooler than Richard.
Richard,
Rick.
yeah.
Even like Dick.
I do sort of
Dick.
like Richard.
Dick is a fucking hard flex of a name.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Dicky.
I think
Yeah.
It's a choice.
I've seen so many posts on "fuck you, Karen" of men being Karen that I think Karen just is.
Karen's
basically how.
Anyone can be named Karen.
Yeah,
It does not discriminate.
There was
Karen transcends gender.
Yeah, the other day on Cringe, I showed there was a black man who like was complaining about like his food after he ate it all, and she was like, "You ate it all, like you ate it all." He was like, "No, man, like I don't want this." And she was like, she was like, "Well, you could have told me before." This is the manager. She's like, "You could have told me, I would have changed it out." And he's like, "So you're gonna be pay for it?" And she's like, "Well, let's ask the audience." Like, showed the plate to his camera.
To the camera.
Like, it was like really funny.
Yeah.
It's like anybody can genuinely be Karen because that guy was clearly in the wrong.
Yeah.
I told you guys that I
want to complain about this meal that I completely consumed.
Yeah.
Dude,
God.
that was my biggest fucking. I worked in Brentwood, which is where all the celebrities live. And people finish their fucking meals and go, "I didn't like it." I'm like, "Well, you should have told me because I definitely said whatever you need, I can help you out with."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was thinking about. I used to wait on one of the Miss Universe ladies, and she sent back 6 like 4 different bananas because they weren't ripe enough.
Oh God!
Fuck off, dude.
Jeez Louise.
Like what a waste.
Man.
And it's not like they were brown and like they weren't ripe enough.
Wow.
But
that's pretty unprecedented. I'm gonna say that seems to be the worst that I've heard, honestly, because I've heard a lot of shit from Andy, but like bananas, like that's fucking nuts.
It just makes me sad because I ate AKA it was also fucking 6:30 in the morning, and I'm like, bitch, you're like getting on like I had like got behind on tables because of it. But like,
of course, yeah.
You are fucking making us throw away good food because it's not up to your standard.
That's like the craziest thing too. I'm probably just gonna, because I gotta let this guy dry since I just primed it. That's like one of the craziest things for me, like about like pandemic stuff, is that like it's bad. It's so weird because it's like we're trying to like take care of our health. But like some of that in terms of like us being like really extra careful and sanitary about stuff is like actually extremely bad for the environment. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot more like single use stuff. Like I was getting my hair done the other day, which by the way, I drove by a barber shop in Burbank today that had a open They were doing like an open air sidewalk barber shop, and I actually thought that was extremely adorable.
That's cute.
But yeah, my because my friend Devin came over and did my hair the other day, and like we were talking about it because she has these like single-use plastic capes now, you know, and it's like that's how we have to make sure that everybody stays safe and isn't sharing anything. Because
Yeah, you're right. Like there is a win that I was talking about. It's really hard to use the phrase. There's positives, out of this very, very unfortunate situation. But like, think about how much less fuel is going are because of stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, planes, big
Which
time.
is like, when like, say if Andy or I are going through a drive-through, and usually I refuse straws because we have metal straws, right?
Yeah.
But if they hand me the straws, I'm like, well, fuck, and I always like I get really like anxious because I'm like, I can't give them back. I can't be like, hey, or take it back. And Andy's like, I think the turtles are gonna be okay right now. He's like, I think they're gonna be okay for like just in terms
of. But also
like,
the fucking lids. It's not like it's like if you go to Starbucks, it's a whole goddamn plastic bucket. And so if we're worried about straws, why aren't we like, you know?
Yeah. I really dislike when I get a plastic cup instead of the paper cups. And like, I mean, I don't know which one is genuinely worse because they're both pretty bad. Like, because they're still, layered with shit. And I'm like, well,
I think the best thing is like just do the best you can, right? Like, vow to make a change and vow to like do best.
And you know what, though, Jess, you know what makes me mad too is Andy and I are pretty good about the straw shit. That like I'm like when I went to Costco and when I buy tampons, usually I buy tampons with the cardboard you know the what's it called, the applicator. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, I used to buy no applicator once.
It's an experience.
Yeah, I mean you gotta wiggle in there, I guess. Yep. But when I go to Costco, they only have the plastic ones, and so to me, I'm like, that's a fucking straw every single time, and that's so wasteful. But I'm like, I also like I can't be leaving the house all the time, like, you know, I'm just gonna do everything at one time. So I'm like, fuck, dude, that's just so frustrating. Did Starbucks stop accepting personal cups? Probably, yeah, because they don't want it.
I believe so.
They don't want your personal cups in their back line.
Yeah.
I think that's like, you know, it's very funny when people are like, personal boycotts aren't what's going to change things, but also it is. So it's like, with the changes, like Monsanto needs to go.
Stonewall was a riot. You know, that's what they say. It's true. It really was.
So what is it?
Yeah, Stonewall. Like, I mean, Stonewall. Like, where. So this is the New York City in the east. Well, yeah. So this was in. What year was Stonewall? Let me see. I actually want to make sure I know. Stonewall. What?
Yeah, it's just an anniversary.
Yes, June 20th, 1969.
Yeah.
And so so the police were pissed off about it being like a gay gathering, you know, and so they had been consistently harassing them, and so they had enough. They threw shit around, and like there were more of them than the police, and so like that was their first like claim of space, where it was like, you know, this is like, fuck that, like, we're not going to be oppressed. Yeah. And that was so long ago. It's like, man, like I mean, it's true. Like, yeah, you have to make noise. Like this, you know, you have to.
Yep.
You primed your or let me see your guy now, Bimma.
I primed this.
Your gal.
No, I primed. This is one that I just primed to do.
You just primed a new one?
Yeah, to start working on.
Ooh.
This is another like just cool mini that Scott gave me.
Nice. Okay.
I do have a space. I do have a Space Marine, but I really like the other figurines that Scott gave me.
Those were cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are these, Scott?
You're
like, I don't know. They're just.
I have so many. Yeah, I have so many miniatures laying around.
Yeah, this one's like elfy. This one definitely has elf ears. This could almost be like Warhammer Fantasy Eldar. It's not, but it just is. Like,
is Eldar your faction, Bimma?
Kind of guy. That's what I played when Scott was teaching me how to play.
Yeah. I did Chaos, which is why I kind of did more of a like Chaos type look. I should have used black, but I decided to do sort of this one. But I'm gonna start drawing or something. This is so fun, you guys. This is very relaxing.
Having a great time.
Yeah.
This is very relaxing.
So let us know, Scott, your time frame and what you were thinking for us.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But we're having fun. I'm having fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Here's my girl. She's a little. It's a little tacky, but I can pick her up. See her right there.
Hell yeah. Oh my God, what's her name?
I have not named her. You know what I need to do, everybody?
If only we had a book.
I need to open the box
in stores
so
now.
That Andy can use it. Andy can spam
Get your copy now. That's awesome.
I know I ordered more, but I haven't opened it yet.
No, truly, we have fun. We have fun reading entries from the book during my stream now, Scott. So
that's awesome.
Thank you. It provides us with hours of entertainment. Like I will. Baby. Oh wow! Multiple copies.
Hell yeah, baby. You mean this book right here? Wait a minute.
There you go.
It's just such a good looking book too.
It looks so good. Yeah, the design of it is so awesome.
It'd be another thing if you'd be like, oh God.
Yeah. Thanks. I'm gonna go put that away somewhere. There was a question from Pegjung. How much painting am I gonna have to do when I get Blood Bowl team? So Blood Bowl teams, you know, that just like all of these, you can do a minimalist and then you can go all out. So I've been over the last couple months, I've been working on my orc team, painting them on stream. So here are a couple of those.
Oh, I also want to mention Jessica did orcs before. Yeah, she did orcs, right, Jess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That's what I'm painting right now.
So like on these, they're just, I mean, so far I think it's 4 colors. So like I just did green on all the skin, which is pretty easy. And then, hold on, let me get the hand. And then like yellow for the cloth, and then purple for the armor. But like even that you could play, and 3 feet, I'd probably just paint over the base. But 3 feet away, that wouldn't look terrible just by itself.
Yeah.
But obviously I'm gonna go in and do metal on all these rims, and then what was the other thing? Oh, some of them have open mouths, and I just painted them green for the skin, but like I'll touch that up. So there's a lot of things you can do, but again, at 3 feet, which is the sort of the standard idea of how far away you're going to be seeing miniatures on the table.
Wow.
Everybody expects you to have 3 colors at least, and then of course you can go well beyond that.
I think cork is the best as a
Queen Orc.
Q Orc.
Yeah.
Like cork is better. I think cork is good. But I actually call myself the Queen Orc best boy, or the best boy, because they're all boys.
Oh yeah.
The best Queen Orc boy. Yeah. The best Queen Orc boy.
Yeah.
Oh, what am I doing? That's not the right color.
I've done that many a time.
Yeah.
Now I'm throwing ruby metallic, which might be a mistake, but it's pretty.
My red is called like, what is it called? It's called Blood Angels Red.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I love color names. Like,
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Jeffree Star, as controversial as he is, but he has very funny names for like even just like shade names on this. Like this palette was from this was it Bloodlust? Bloodlust, yeah, Bloodlust. And so like the names are all like Deviant, Your Majesty, Take the Crown, Beauty Sleep, Sworn Enemies is dark green color. Yeah,
they're all like vampy color names.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Executioner and Betrayal. But yeah, it's very like super. I'd love to see like the inspired name choices for shit like that.
Well, didn't we all want to be Kate Winslet's character from?
From Eternal Sunshine, where what was it, Tangerine? What was the color?
Tangerine.
Right?
Was it Tangerine Dream?
She was talking about how someone had a job to name it, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay. Yeah. But I mean, I know he called her Tangerine, but I remember she said what the name was. I mean, I didn't start using I always had colored hair. My hair color is always been so hard to bleach to get it to be able to take any color. So I was like, well, I guess I'll learn this time, and so I've learned how to do it. And now I get it, because then I immediately ordered like all the colors, because they're temporary dyes. They're gonna come out within like 3 weeks, and so it's been fun because I'm like, ooh, what can I mix now? I mix now? Do. I don't know why I knew, Scott, for some reason that you would be the one to be. That song is Sunday morning. My dad is cleaning at 9:30 trying to wake us up.
Oh my God.
I'm like, no, because my dad used to have this weird rule where you couldn't sleep in past 10 a.m. where he'd be like, get up, trying to get up, because he didn't want our sleep, schedules getting all messed up.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, especially on like a Sunday when you got to go back to school the next day.
Yeah. So it was just like that, and like Unchained Melody.
Wow.
And just like old 50s bops and shit. Like my dad loves like a doo-wop, but it's honestly just so funny because like Journey, that's cleaning music to me. It used to be triggering for a while. Now I just fucking love it because I love my dad, and I'm like, I'm an adult, and I'm like, I miss my dad. But my dad has very funny taste where he will go from listening to who can it be now outside, like blaring with his cool, amp that he got from like Costco, it's just like for DJs and shit. And then like we'll blast like Huba sang The Reason right after.
No.
And like my dad like loves Linkin Park. Yeah. My dad like loves Linkin Park. Reason is you.
And the reason is you. I mean, it was like, dude, K-Rock is still pumping that shit out.
Yeah.
K-Rock never moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah, K-Rock. Yep.
Just pumping out, turning out the same shit.
Oh, but then also he'll like pull up like Vince Gill or Garth Brooks, which is like we love country, and like it's like my dad's taste is like he's so just unabashed like about, and that's why I mean for the longest time my mom like didn't realize that he actually liked like she was when they went to drag shows later on after they talked about it, but he was like, yeah, I want to go to a drag show. This is when I was like in high school. He's like, I want to go to a drag show. Mom's like, well, you used to get so mad when I would hang out with Peter, my gay friend, and you wouldn't let me hang out with him. And my dad goes, it's not because I'm mad that he's gay. I'm mad because he's trying to take you out and you were my girlfriend. And like, I don't want you dancing like, with other people, like when like, he's trying to get you to party too much. And so they finally had an understanding as to why my dad didn't like that friend. And it was like very sweet.
So
I was like, oh yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I don't know, this is a weird tangent, but years ago, a bunch of my friends were in this web series called Video Game Reunion. Mm-hmm. And there's this whole plot line in it. So basically, it's like a big Vegas convention, and it's a reunion of all these like famous old school video game characters, as if like they were sort of like actors in their own games. Yeah, it's really funny. But my friend Haley Mancini plays Zelda in it. And in it, she and Mega Man are like besties. Mm-hmm. And it's so funny because like Link is super jealous of their like friendship. But like it's so obvious to the viewer that he's like her gay BFF. but also he's convinced that Solid Snake is trying to kill him, and then he does. It's so good.
That's so funny. Oh my god.
Like because like and you never see Solid Snake. It's just like a box.
Going on the other side.
Just a fucking cardboard box, dude. I love that. Listen, a cardboard box meme about Metal Gear will never not make me laugh.
Never, ever. It's so fucking funny.
It's so good. I'm gonna put this away. Who can it be now?
Directly into the volume.
I love that. Now we need someone to come out to that song. Andy, come on.
No.
When Andy reveals someone new, who can it be now?
Ooh, that'd be dope. I feel like one of the things that I'm getting out of this painting experience is that like I'm applying the same principles that you do to makeup brushes, which is like the further back your hand is, the less color distribution, or the closer your hand is to the base of the brush, the more intense the color distribution is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's definitely there's there's like the feathering, when you're like at the tip, because you're feathering. Like that's like a technique you use for like if you're gonna be painting your eyebrows, right? You're gonna do the flicks at the
because you don't actually want a ton of color distribution because it's gonna not look real.
Because you want it to look like real hairs, so you're doing so that's very interesting. Like that's
especially in the miniature painting, there are so, like I was talking about before, there's so many different techniques. There are people who, they'll tell you, for certain things you use the tip of the brush, for certain things you use the side of the brush, and watching some of those people who are like true experts at it and how they can shift between different techniques on the fly is really, really impressive.
Yeah, I bet. I am not getting color distribution in there at all. Gotta choke up on the brush, BB. Yeah, there we go. That did it.
Choke up on the dick.
What happened?
No, I found like all of my the pop figures. Remember when I got mad and I grabbed all the pop figures and put them in a box because I was like
you're like, I hate Funko Pop figures now.
I got into a fight with Andy and I was mad because he wasn't appreciating the fact that I had done all this stuff for the house, right? This was like fucking.
Oh my god.
This is like maybe like a year ago or something, where I was like really pissed and I was like, you don't understand. You don't see what I do. Blah blah blah.
I did so much work to make our place nice.
Yeah, so that I grabbed a box and I put a bunch of shit into it, right? And so I've since then found them all. I'm pretty sure I threw away the ash one because I was mad at Andy.
No,
because I can't find it. I don't know where it's at. And so I'm pretty sure
the asshole in this.
That is amazing.
I am 100% the asshole. I mean, I wouldn't do that in my right mind, but I was clearly I was drunk.
You were angry and you were
drunk.
It happens to the best of us.
Because because I saw my Kevin Owens in the drawer here, and I was like, oh, like I remember I remember I found the box, and I still haven't seen fucking the ash one. I haven't told him, so we have to order another one because I'm pretty sure that I was like, yeah, because it looks like him, so I was like, yeah.
You did a giveaway though, remember one? It wasn't that one, was it?
No, I ordered 2 of them when I did that because
that would be such a flex if you threw it away. If you just gave it away.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's what I did. But yeah,
jokes on me.
I mean, because it literally Andy doesn't really care about have any personal fucking connection to any pop figures. It's just literally just looked like Andy, and so I probably threw it away.
Because you were angry at Andy.
Yeah, I was mad at him, so I was like, and I'm sure that I meant to be like, I'll get it in the morning, and no, I'm pretty sure that I did that because either I did it or I dreamt I did it, one or the other.
You just
there's a fuck I
like
thinking,
that you just put it directly in the dumpster. Also, you bypassed the kitchen.
Yeah, I'm like fuck. No, I think it was in the. I mean, it might have been. I might have.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure it was in the kitchen, and that it just got filled the next day.
I cannot get over how much I like this red. It
looks
the Blood Angels one.
It looks so good on this.
That's such a deep red. I love
that's
that.
That's a good color.
This freaking spawn cape that this guy's got.
I'm looking for my monster. Oh. I have a cute little monster pencil case.
Oh, nice.
But I'm just looking for find my pencil. But you're right. Who can it be now?
Is the blood showing up?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, look good.
Oh yeah, I see it. It looks good. This red.
I love a color that you can live for like that. Where you're like,
yes.
I feel that way about cerulean blue.
Oh yeah, cerulean blue is good.
That's so good.
And marigold yellow.
Felt so validated when there was a city called Cerulean in Pokemon when I was a kid.
Same.
Because it was a constant fight because cerulean didn't mean anything to us as kids. So I'm sure I'm not the only person that had this experience. If you had classmate colleagues that called it chlorine blue.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Well, I mean, to me, I love a good electric blue or a good aquamarine, and I do tend to call it Windex blue because that's the best way that I can make it clear. I'm like Windex blue, that's my favorite color,
So cerulean did exist in the crayon box.
Yes,
and that's why I loved it because that was their best blue. And also
I like that blue too.
There was the fad of yellow sunflowers on the cerulean blue background.
Right. Oh, because totally.
But I never heard anyone say it. So I always called it circularine.
Oh, that's cute.
Circularine.
Yeah, a lot of people that I knew, they said chlorine because, again, we all grew up belonging to country clubs and going to pools and being on swim teams. So, yeah, we were all oh, chlorine blue. And my mom was she looked at the crayon and she goes, it's definitely cerulean. And so then I tried to educate people on the good word of cerulean. And then then Pokemon came out and everyone was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
It's kind of fun when you're on that hill alone for a little bit. Too.
Yeah. Oh, Janelle, are you drawing now too?
Yeah, I'm a draw.
I think I'm hitting a max because my back is starting to hurt.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna lay a little more color in this cape here.
Yeah, I'll just draw a little.
Well, no, you guys can hang. I just don't want to keep on hunching.
We're good. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Who can now?
Next time we gotta go the Lucas route though, and just be all black and white and play French cinema in the background.
Oh, like he did with the Legos?
Yeah, and not talk.
Oh my God, for real.
Oh, I did want to actually. So let me. I was talking to Andy recently about. I would like to play Overwatch with no audio, and we're gonna be doing. I think we're gonna do. Every time I stream, we'll teach a sign from ASL, from American Sign Language.
Oh, cool! Yeah,
because I would like to experience the game as somebody who only needs to use visual cues. Because deaf players, deaf gamers are very real. They play.
Yeah,
and they have to use
definitely.
all the context clues. And so, because my game sense for the game is pretty fucking good, but I still would like to be able to and so the stream itself will be silent. I mean, you guys will be able to hear me, but I'm not going to be speaking. You can hear me with say like where you can hear like a little bit of like the clicks, which is like normal ASL shit, and but it's very visual. Andy suggested doing black and white. I said no, because like we need to make sure that everyone understands that we're using visual cues. Like like you need to use all of the colors and everything in general. So deaf streamers are on Twitch are very real too. So
I like that.
There will be sound. So we'll figure out when we're gonna do that. But we'll be starting me teaching Andy some signs, and also because I need to very much to brush up on my American Sign Language.
Cool.
I was somewhat fluent at some point, but I didn't practice it enough to keep it regular, and I unfortunately I didn't keep up with the deaf community as much as I wanted to because I got more involved with different things. But so I think that's something that I would
need.
That's great. Yeah, I love it.
Have I showcased my new hammer? You mean this hammer right here?
Whoa, dude. When'd you get that?
This was so I saw that J3, who was an Overwatch streamer, had this hammer, and I said, well, I want one too, because I'm a notorious desk slammer, as everyone knows, and so I said, protect my hands, give me a Torp hammer, because this is an $88 hammer.
Yeah, I was like, that's a Torbjorn hammer.
Yeah, it's a Torbjorn hammer, and so it's a foam with wiring on the inside. It is very durable. It's great. I love it. So thank you to Uzi, who was the one that got it for me.
That's
oh my God,
nice,
I didn't
Uzi.
see Lazy was in chat. Hi, Lazy. I didn't see her.
Lazy.
But yeah, so we'll be doing some hammering.
Lazy's good at Fall Guys.
He's very good. He got a win on stream. That was exciting.
Yeah, Lazy's real good. Lazy was hard carrying us. Yeah. Whatever, Andy.
Andy gets very mad.
He was great.
Whatever. Yeah. Well, listen, Andy. You have to beat Lazy. You have to get 2 wins. Lazy. Andy won a game. Can you believe it? I can.
Got that fat dub, yo.
Yeah.
So I've been very much using my hammer. So.
Bear noses are usually black, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think it depends on the bear.
They're like dog noses.
Well, sure. Okay. I think black will look good on this.
Yeah, I think that you should paint the bear's nose whatever color your heart desires.
Well, sure. The most important thing when it comes to building models and painting models is called the rule of cool.
Ooh, I accidentally almost said whatever heart your color desires.
Yeah, Andy, did you see that?
Oh my God.
Did you see it?
I'm so impressed. Yes.
Oh, Lazy, you've won 2 more times.
He won 2 more. He's won 2 more.
I keep making it to the final round, and I just can't deliver.
I'm scared. I've never made it to the final round. I haven't played enough. You've probably played more than me, Emma, because you played for like good 2 hours the other day when you were.
I did. I played with my community the other day.
Yeah. So next time you play, we'll play with you because I was waiting for that fucking package all day. I was
like, you're totally fine.
But it was.
Oh, were you waiting for your hammer?
No, I was waiting for a different package, but I had to so. Because again, I always have sent stuff to you if I.
Yes, I was going to say, Janelle and Andy send stuff to my house.
Yeah. She's trying to Q snipe the mailman.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Hey.
Don't leave another notice that says that you can't leave it here because I'm here.
I got it. But
I was also working on shit.
I was like, I got to stay close to you guys so that you can keep sending stuff to my apartment.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Because that was the funniest thing. Is I used to like send shit over to like Hyper. Like Andy and I literally send our TV over to Hyper.
Amazing.
And Malika, they knew. Malika was like,
I used to send stuff to Hyper sometimes too. They knew because like
Malika was like, your TV's here.
when the people who own our building originally bought it, like we were so. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with our building and, like, if I'm going to be able to receive things here. And, like, I really needed to get my dress for the Dragon Ball Broly premiere. And I was like, Malika, can I just have it sent to Hyper? Yeah. She's like, that's fine.
Oh, my God.
Listen, or no, it wasn't that. It was the stuff that Box Lunch was sending me, or no, Hot Topic was sending me for the Sailor Moon partnership I was doing with them.
Yeah, cool.
That's great. I was like, Malika.
I know, same, right? Where it's like Malika. Yeah. Yeah, because she was the one that would be like, it's here. Because I would also like just keep track. I'm like, oh, it's coming today. So let me see when the email comes. Because they would send me photos of where it was in front of the building.
Yeah.
And I would like run over there like before Malika texted me. I can get it, I promise.
Yeah. I bought my current TV at Costco and like transported it in my old car, which was quite a feat because my old car was little.
What was the old car that you used to have? I like your I mean, you have your beautiful Mazda now. But
I used to have a Nissan Versa hatchback. Oh, okay. They don't even make that anymore.
Yeah, that makes it. Yeah.
Yeah, they discontinued the hatchback style.
I'm very happy for you. I'm sorry that you got into the car accident, but I'm very happy that you got yourself a new car.
It was about time for me to get a new car, quite honestly.
Life has a way of doing that, you know?
Yeah, and so like it was not a big loss by any stretch of the imagination. And like I ended up like I got way more for that car being a total loss than I would have gotten on a trade-in. So thank you to my insurance company.
Yeah, what was the source of that crash, by the way?
So I was driving down the 405. I was literally on my way to the Ven studio for the first time to do a promo shoot for the download.
Fucking crazy.
I know, isn't that funny? Yeah. So I was literally on my way to the studio. And what happened was traffic slowed down because of an accident like elsewhere. And so basically the guy who was right in front of me decided that he wanted to change lanes, but then he kind of realized like he couldn't change lanes. Yeah. And so he moved back into my lane. I hit my brakes. I'm pretty sure I hit my brakes in time. And it wasn't even the guy behind me. The guy behind me was also braking, but the guy behind him didn't brake in time, pushed him into me, which propelled me into the guy in front of me.
Yep.
And then he actually also hit the car in front of him, but the car in front of him drove off.
No.
So they probably maybe driving without a license or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So my question is like, so how I know Jess has also been through an accident that was a lot more severe than yours, obviously.
Yeah, mine was pretty minor.
Yeah, and Andy, have you been in any accidents before? I actually don't know.
I've been in a couple. I rear-ended somebody because I was driving.
Oh yeah, the high school one.
Yeah, like the traffic on the freeway like locked up really quickly in front of me.
Oh yeah,
and I slammed on the brakes in the '66 Mustang, which did not have anti-lock brakes.
Yeah,
I wasn't an experienced driver enough to know how to like pump them and like get to like slow down quicker. So it was just they locked instantly. I just fucking skidded for an hour and just barely like didn't make it far enough and just fucking bonked into the guy.
Oof. Yikes.
Yeah. What about you, Scott?
No, knock on wood.
Yeah.
I mean, same with me. I mean, I've been in accidents as a passenger 2 times. But what was the other one, Andy? You said another one?
I rear-ended somebody another time.
Oh my God! Who am I with?
Janelle's like, Andy's never driving again.
Well, like, listen, I become my mother where I grab the thing, like, the little grippy on the right side, and I'm like,
no.
I mean,
especially because he's driving sick, so I'm like, he's very.
The first one
I used to not do that.
High school, I was inexperienced with like a shitty car, and then the other one was like, I was doing the head bob. I was in traffic. And I was so tired, like also still like inexperienced. I was like 18.
Yeah.
To where like driving in traffic, where I'm like getting the heavy eyelids and the head bobs means pull the fuck over and fucking sleep, dumbass.
Yeah.
So I was in traffic and I just like same thing, just barely nudged too far ahead and like bonked into somebody when I fucking like fell asleep.
That's interesting because like there was one friend I used to go with to Disneyland all the time. This is when I was living in Riverside County. So it's about an hour drive over to Anaheim. And she was a notorious like falling asleep like very quickly. And because I was a roommate of hers before that. And so she would do that sometimes, like just we'd be watching something and she would just go, like not narcoleptic, but just very easily falls asleep.
Right,
we went to Disneyland. I mean, of course, at Disneyland, you're going to be fucking tired, And then so I had to keep yelling at her, Kendra, please, like, please, and not even a month later, she got into an accident herself by crashing into the median. And she's okay. Everything's okay. But like, she
I'm
fell
glad
asleep
she's
on the way
fine.
and so like that shit's very real. Make sure you guys are safe. Like, but like, I mean, to me, it's like I was as being a passenger for the first one I got into was my brother came to pick me up from, I was working at Blockbuster. He picked me up and he brought two of his friends. His friend behind me was like, I need more room, because I jumped in the passenger seat because I literally ran to the passenger seat, which Jess can relate to. Yep. And then so I did that, and so then he was like, I need more space, my knees, and so I pulled it up all the way, like into the front, like to where like my chest was like close to the dashboard, and I was like, there is enough room for you. And then we get into an accident because the person behind my brother didn't see that there was a stoplight, so she and her kid, she had a kid in the back, crashed into us, and I hit my chest on the dashboard, and I've had valley fever before, so I have like a lot of lung problems and stuff. So I was like,
you had valley fever before?
Wow. We're living in fucking Fresno County. That's why my parents wanted part of the reason why they wanted us to move. And so it's nothing like, nothing crazy happened. But my brother, when he got out, he like ran. As soon as he saw that she had, because he was like pissed. He was like, what the fuck? Then saw that it was a woman with a kid, and he was like, like, are you guys okay? Like, checked immediately, and everything. But it's so like, I mean, you guys can all relate to this. I mean, Scott, have you ever been passenger in one?
Not really. I mean, just really minor like bumps.
Lucky.
Nothing beyond,
knock on wood again.
Sure.
So that's fucking great. And I mean, because truly, it's kind of frightening right now because people don't really navigate their cars much, And so it's like you don't understand like that you're not just like at your desk.
I think that that was kind of the thing, was like, the accident that I was in, again, it was so hard to determine like anybody being at fault. Like, I certainly wasn't determined to be at fault. Like, my insurance rate, even getting a brand new car, like when I talked to them, they're like, cool, your rate's going to go up by 68 cents. And I was like, all right, that sounds great. You know what I mean? So certainly I was not at fault. Also, even if it was my fault, just my position within the accident made it that it would be very difficult to legally find me at fault. Which is bullshit, quite frankly.
They wouldn't be able to find you.
But basically, like, unfortunately, typically if you are the last person in a pileup and you rear end someone, it is your fault. Because you were following too closely, quote unquote. Which is bullshit. But anyway, so
that person who did it got fucked because he got 3 cars under his belt.
So real quick, I just wanted to show where I am with this guy.
I like that green on.
Yeah, so do I.
Looking good, Scott.
And I have this new technical paint that's going to make that green like almost glow. But that's for later.
What brand is that? Can you share?
It's Games Workshop, but they just came out with this new. It's called. Cool. They have a line of technical paints that do like crazy things. So one of them it's called Blood for the Blood God, and it's like drippy, gooey blood that you can put on miniatures.
Whoa.
Yes, but I need to go because I need to go and help put kids to bed. It's late.
Yes.
So you guys can continue. I can just take myself
No, it's
off
all good. I think this is a good place to start. Like, everybody, we love you all.
We love you much.
So, bye everybody. I'll be hopping on here right now. So, if you guys want to still hang out, everybody and chat, I'll be here.
Let's
hold on. I was like, let me
and everybody take pictures and post them so we can
take some
see what everything looks like.
Let's add a little hobby corner underneath Scott's corner too.
That's a good idea. Good idea.
So we'll do that.
Thanks for doing this, Scott.
This was fun.
This was super fun and chill.
Okay.
Who's up next week?
That will be actually Andy will be hosting the pay-per-view.
Nice.
Yeah, we were gonna do it 2 weeks from now, but I decided to move the drag show for after so that Andy can do. So I'll be doing drag after that, but Andy's gonna be doing.
I got some work to do.
A lot of work to do. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you're watching Emma at 11 a.m. on Watch Ven, and then whenever she's streaming, make sure you join her Discord because she makes sure she.
Yeah, I've been doing I've been doing like 3:30 recently. And that's been kind of cool though. I think our meeting is getting moved up. So I might be able to move back to like 2:30, which would put me in a nice spot to wrap up at 5 and send people to Jess. So
yeah,
nice.
Well, and so Bless, what else? What do you have going on with Ripley?
Oh, nothing yet. So
nothing. But you guys are working on stuff, right? Because I know you have a lot of planning.
We'll announce the genre sooner than later, probably within the next 2 weeks.
That's great. I'm excited because I know what it is. So I'm like, I'm eager for you to share it with the community.
Dude, I'm so fucking stoked on it. Yeah, I'm grateful that you're excited. I think it's going to be a huge success. And then tomorrow we'll be doing our
subathon.
Subathon. So as far as Andy, Andy will be doing Monday, Tuesday. So I know you guys noticed an absence tonight. Cameron's not here. Cameron is going to be taking a little bit of a break from these Homebuddies streams, but that doesn't mean necessarily all streams. He's going to still be doing Monday, Tuesday with Andy. And he's committed to being consistent with those. So he'll be there doing that for Resident Evil. And then
we're actually going to be starting Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 5. Week. And then so once those streams wrap up, then once Resident Evil wraps up, then I'll be hopping on with Andy and maybe like Riri or whoever wants to guest on there. And we'll be doing commentary for wrestling. So we'll be doing so make sure you guys are tuning in because our go home show will actually be on Friday night, I think. I think Friday night might be the night because usually I stream on Friday nights, but I'm thinking maybe we'll do a go home for you on Friday.
We can do that.
We'll do that. So there will have 3 shows this week, and Scott will be competing, and so that's where we're at right now. Make sure you can follow all of us, the Homebuddies Discord. We're all there, and so we love you very much, and we're so grateful to Scott for doing this. This is a blast. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. More of these. Sorry, I'm like so focused. I'm like,
I don't blame you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Good night.